Good evening, I'm Adventure Argonaut. This is Sovereign Syndicate. And seems all of the player characters are converging to, was it Lord Braxton's party? And let's see if we can actually get all the way there today. And I wonder if that's gonna be like the climax of the game, like the showdown, or is there something gonna be happening still after the party? But it seems like all of the characters now is four-player characters because Otto, the automaton, also has become a playable character, which I was sort of expecting. Like I wasn't 100% sure that is gonna be the case, but it is. Anyways, my streams are all up, so let's go and okay, we are Atticus Daily. Waking in the Velvet Rose, you discovered you were robbed. During the night, your misfortunes continued with the discovery of a gruesome murder in the next room. And a talk with the always unpleasant Jamie, who suggested there's a way for you to make good on your debts to Molly. So yeah, because they want me to fight the werewolf, I guess at the party at the Lord Braxton's manor. So the trail is cold. So yeah, Molly might have info. Take the uniform home. Bring back the Sandhog uniform stored for safekeeping in your wardrobe. Okay, and settle your debt. Ah, yeah, that's with Molly. Alright, alright. I didn't remember or know that I was supposed to bring the costume, the uniform to my home. Oh yeah, this evil wardrobe. Now I remember. Garment storage. A respectable cove has an outfit for every occasion. Store your sandbag uniform inside the wardrobe. Ooh, I got lots of hope. Alright. Oh, an outfit of sorts. What is this? It's hideous. I feel faint. There's no pleasing this crumbling garment hole. Oh, but one day I will contain multitudes, finery for every occasion. Sure, wardrobe, keep that dream alive. Okay. Too early to sleep. Just see if there's flask of laudanum. Was it always here? Was this? Must have forgot it. I stashed it here. Laudanum, liquor less delectable alternative, a bitter straight to the gullet way to not numb the pain. Okay, let's take it. Laudanum. No, no, no. I didn't want to click there. Click there. Dust rises up in a beam of daylight, reminding you how reliably unclean your desk is. Me and my tendency to neglect things. You're here, okay. Nothing but dust-streaked window. Alright, yeah, nothing to do with the books. So I guess I should go talk to Molly. I assume you don't want like automatically transport to the party if you talk to her and try to find out about stuff. Good golly, Miss Molly. Newfangled mode of self-propelled transportation. Contraptions are a nuisance. This flaky with rust must have sat here for a while. Despite this disrepair, a younger me would have stolen this conveyance and hawked it for a fix. Okay, is our Minotaur's Afro-coded one? There's Dante Ziegler with that robot thingy. Okay. I know that tavern is when I have to go, but I'm just looking around just for fun. And the ferry should be here that takes everybody to the party. Ellen Bailey. I wonder if her name is like mix of Helena Blavatsky and Alice Bailey, like both sort of occultists or something from a century or more ago. Okay, yeah, there's the boat, but of course I have to find somebody to sponsor me there. Yeah. Let's just go in. Of course, I have to save bartender. Not drinking on the job, I swear. Now then, what can I get you? We've all been there, you know. Or exactly, you know, Suzzle, when we should be doing our job instead. Fates know I've been guilty of it myself. Whether back in my thuggish past, handing out beatdowns on behalf of the hounds or performing street magic. Oh well, that's a relief. I won't be needing a drink just now. Thanks. Thanks anyway. The betting station, don't wanna bet. Mr. Daly, I'm afraid not taking bets right now. Come back another time. Ladsman. This is the one I stopped from doing violence to Annika down in the sewers. Ah, okay. So I sort of thought maybe we killed him, but I guess we didn't. That was a close thing. He's lucky I wasn't in a killing mood. Okay. Steady on, he's just a man having a drink now. It's you. No more skulking about the sewers, I trust. I'm well out of the way of all that. Dark, dirty business. No place for a man with any wits. He's wondering what the devil I'm talking about. To be fair, he didn't see me coming, let alone know who overpowered him. Hades, he might even be thinking that I'm some deity who preys upon scoundrels like him. Then, to what are you applying those formidable wits of yours now? I've got myself a real legitimate trade. Bookmaking, dog and horse racing, fixing any fight you can imagine. Really gets the old bile pumping. Glad to hear it. You'll live longer this way. Right. Was no way to live in the underground. Besides getting shivved by an ungrateful mark, I could have fallen into the bilge or chewed up by a cane rat. Now then, I'd better get back to it. Wastewater. Bilge. Doghound Thug. Oh, this is the same cove I practically stumbled over in the warehouse, and whose particular pocket I picked up to my profit. Ha! Didn't see you sleeping off at Gin Bath in the underground. Ah, so like the first, like right when we entered the warehouse in the first chapter. Maybe so, but there ain't no bullman working down here, so what are you, some kind of sneak thief? I'm not a dog hound if that's you're asking. He didn't like the taste of that, but what's he going to do about it? Nothing. Securely, I'm not gonna give him back the money, right? Mind you don't cross paths with any butchers, bullman. Oh wait, there's Annika and Pavel. Where did they come from? I didn't see them. Atticus Daly, my favorite minotaur in all London town. Atticus, hello again. I haven't caught a knife in. You haven't caught a knife in the heart yet, I see. No, but I got in closer than I'd like. I know that feeling very well. I even have a scar or two to prove it. What brings you two here during working hours? I'm always at work, my friend, but the clockwork of this clever mind never stops. But we stopped in today for a little splash on the way to a party. Drink a mummy unwrapping, if you can believe it, at Braxton Manor. I'd ask you along, but it's invite only. I can see how that might present a problem. A smart cove don't need an invitation. See what white firecracker she is. I shall be escorting young Anitaka to the manor, though only as far as the dooryard. Um, I've heard of such parties, but never once attended. I don't imagine you're keen on anthropology. So, what's the draw, Annika? Well, I'm heading there to shake things up, so to speak. So, if you're in it for a bit of fun, a deal of skullduggery, then we could use a strong arm like you. Yes, I like the idea. Tell me what you had in mind. Let's table the details for now. This little chat might have already drawn some glances. And it's better that the three of us aren't seen together here in town. Right, Atticus, look for us on the ferry landing in Braxton County this evening. We'll proceed from there. Very well? Okay. Task started. Sneak into the manor. Thank you, Atticus. You're a better gentleman than many born to the title. Now that's a nice sentiment, but don't get cocky. You still have to turn words into action. Alright then, I'll see you both at the manor later. Count on it. I'm looking forward to some mayhem. Alright, let's save and then... I'm a dwarf. Well, I'm not a dwarf, but I could be a dwarf. Grr, greet the dog. Hey there, boy. Grr, simmer down. Alright. Molly O'Malley. Crows on the cross. How do I despise this woman? An expression of amazement and frustration. Atticus, don't you recall what Molly's done to you? Courting with criminals brings nothing but trouble. Didn't I just say how I wanted nothing to do with her? Blast, that ruddy crone is almost as bad as Molly. Atticus, are you alright? Ah, yes, but of course. You seem a bit preoccupied. Anyhow, the good of you to come. It didn't seem like I'd been offered a choice. Indeed, you were not. Hard to get things done when one allows one's employees to make their own decisions. Haha, what an idea. Clarify your working relationship with Molly. I'm not your employee. I do intend to make good on my debts, but I will not work for you again. I despise your kind, buying off the law and preying on the weak. I'm no part of that world anymore. Oh, I've never seen someone's eyes flash. Always thought it was figure of speech. If you weren't so hawking and brutish, I'd have you killed for that tongue of yours. But I need your size more than anything. Simply put, refuse me and you won't leave this establishment alive. That does take the wind out of the sail somewhat. I'm not going to murder anyone if that's what you're asking. Far from it. Now listen well, I won't repeat myself. If not murder, it was something close to it. As you might already know, Miss Clara Reed was the very thief who stole your winnings last night, but I wouldn't get too nasty with her because I had the tables rigged for you to win in the first place. If you ever want to see that money again, then hear me out. Cursed fate, someday I'll have the chance to shut Molly's mouth for good, and I owe Clara Reed a few choice words as well. I need to dash over to Braxton Manor. Take the ferry to Braxton Village. You can't miss it. It's a good thing I'm already headed to the manor. I can catch the ferry at the wharf. It'll be on the docks just across the tavern. Man called Fullywold has something of mine. You'll find him in the basement laboratory at the manor. He's been spending a lot of time there lately. Ask her how to deal with Fullywold. And how am I supposed to separate this fellow from your property? Come, come, we both know you're an old hand at this, experienced. Talk some sense into the fellow and if necessary kick it into him. How much blood have I spilled over the years trying to stay ahead of my debts, somehow always failing? Ask what you need to fetch for Molly. What am I fetching for you? It's not money, I take it. Don't go muddle your head before the fun starts. Fully well will know what you're after when you arrive, and it's nothing you can smoke or ingest, right? Okay, have to agree, apparently. I'll do what I have to. Oh, don't look so glum. This time tomorrow you'll be a free Minotaur, or as free as you've ever been. Thanks, Molly, you're a sweetheart. So I guess it means that the werewolf is down there. We have to go fight it. Because that's what they want me to do. Like, Atticus doesn't know about it, but I guess it was the dwarf who knows about it. Don't get cheeky, or I'll have Sweet Cherry put a hole in your heart bigger than the one Ariana left. Name given to Molly's sort of shotgun. Ariana, she's so like simple-minded and also very plain-looking. And simple-minded, not in a good thing. Like not that bad either, but she clearly isn't the brightest bulb in the brothel. Anyway, how does she know about Ois? No matter, I moved on. Eat dirt, Miss Molly, and try not to break a tooth on the gravel. It's a shame you don't channel that anger into something productive. Ask Molly something else. Wait a minute, we're not finished here. Spit and hellfire, fine, get on with it. Okay, let's inquire about her other endeavors. How's business going otherwise? Smoothly, I happen to run a few distilleries in underground. Obviously, telling you about it doesn't do justice to the final product. The final product being McGrady's Chin, Cole, who supervises the operation in my absence, isn't the sharpest tool in the woodsheds, but at least he does things by my book. That bottle I found by rowing the sewers. Ask about the doggy. That's one hell of a dog you have there, Molly. Hell is a good way to put it. He's cross between a black dog and a hellhound. In English folklore, a black dog is an unnaturally large spectral hound with glowing eyes, sometimes considered an omen of death. And hellhound is, literal hound from hell. What's his name? Atticus. No, it's Hercules. What? I'm taking the mickey, so she's making a joke, making sport of someone. His name is Hercules. Got him a couple of years back at Demon Dog Show. God knows what rum fun those are. Clever trick, mischievous good time. Well, she's not wrong there. I love seeing a Pomeranian go right up in smoke. Any road, I saw this fellow make his way through all the obstacles without missing a beat. A bunch of muckety mucks were there, including Silas Bragg. He's a fan of these rare beauties too. Rats mingling with pros. It's a fine thing to watch a beast who obeys their master without hesitation. Unlike a lot of folks who work for yours truly. I can attest to that many times I quit on a job from only when it became too damn brutal. So I spoke to the owner. Son of a bloody cane rat wouldn't give him away. Sentimental attachment, he said. I have a feeling this is where Jemmy comes in. So I had Jemmy show him a whole new perspective, so to speak. One that looks up at the daisies from 6 feet under, and that now the dog's mine. Fascinating story. What's the dog trained for? Killing, of course. Other dogs mostly. Although he's rather poor at rat baiting, these things are just too small to give him much interest. She's told this story to the other characters. Molly sure likes the sound of her own voice, though I get a feeling she's told the story many times. They ask about the missing orphans. Molly, you're well informed in the East End. What do you know about the orphans kidnapped from the Sacred Heart? Kidnapped? What an imagination you have. Why would anyone go to the trouble of snatching a ragamuffin when you can buy a week's work from one of them for a shilling? Besides, orphans run off all the time. Someone with a ragged or unkempt appearance, especially a child. Anyways, so yeah, it really does sound like she's somehow involved because otherwise she wouldn't be saying it like this. I grew up at the Sacred Heart, so I have a personal interest in this case. Is that why you're hanging your head all the time? No mommy or daddy to cuddle you as a child? Molly, this is something I care deeply about. Anything you might know would put my mind at ease. Well, alright, your missing little friends may have something to do with the job we were discussing. You mean they could be at the manor? Never said that. Those orphans are indirectly related, if related at all. Either I was born hornless or those ragamuffins are at the manor. Okay. So at least that's something to go off. So, bit darling, daily, what else do you need? Bring up the broken Spoonbacher. I saw that Spoonbacher you had set up near the curio shop on Tenor Street. You may want to take a look at it. Oh, I went to the shopkeeper about it and she asked me to take it up with you. I don't think folks will pay £500 for a watch. I'll have one of my gearheads go and take a look, but it's not top on my list. It's not top of my list. Engineers, of course. Thing doesn't turn much profit anyway. Funny how commerce dies when a family's home is burned to the ground in the same neighborhood. Okay. Show her the Red Pack Manifesto. I found this little pamphlet in the warehouse, apparently authored by the Red Pack. There's a note inside that mentioned your husband, Jack O'Malley. Molly's deceased husband and leader of the doghounds before Molly took his place. Maybe she actually killed him. Ah, give me that! Yeah, that got her rattled in a hurry. Nice to see her on the back foot for once. Sure, let's give her the pamphlet. Nose blow, but pressed to the paper, she rapidly scans the lines, eyes widening in several stages of incredulity. Incredulity. Damn. Here I thought I'd expunged every single one of those lycanrophile cretins. Somebody who sympathizes with the socio-political struggles of werewolves. I've seen Molly enraged, but never like this. Well, it was Red Pack who killed her husband Jack. I'm going to burn this pamphlet in the fireplace, but I am glad that you found it. Have a little tin for your trouble. This has nothing to do with your massive debt, mind you. £2, better than a moldy slip of paper, I suppose. Now then, are you here for anything important? Mention the appearance of her name. What does it mean? Molly, I must say, but your name is quite literally popping up. As if it were highlighted? Well, I paid to have it glossarized. Wait, what? Is this some fourth wall breaking thingy? Here we are in the Crimson Herring after all. Molly gets whatever she wants from the higher ups. Molly, 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 every time someone says it, my notoriety gets a boost. That's rather flash. Could I get my name that way as well? Fashionable, valuable, or charming. You're not important enough. Who knows if you survive the evening? Alright, forget it. I'll see you later, Molly. Good golly, Miss Molly. Alright. So we still have... wait, let's see. Gene Collector. Missing orphans. So they're gonna be at Braxton Manor, but they still sort of suggest there might be other stuff. Okay, yeah, we don't have to settle my debts. What's this? Oh yeah, that's this. Sneak into the manor. So these are all manor related stuff. Maybe there's still something we can find about the courtesan killer. So yeah, Calvin heard something strange at the bell jar, but he didn't actually see anyone. It's going to be hard to put a case together at this point, but I may as well keep looking for clues if I can. So yeah, it's maybe there's still something. Okay, let's see if we can ask. Salutations, Mr. Daly. How can I be of service? Okay, just gonna piss off. Boy, boy. Is this a bloody great bull again? What do you want? Buy a bulletin for 1 penny. Do I have a bulletin? Teddy bear. Off road. Matilda's letter. Fine. Probably no. Have I talked to him with this character yet? Grrr. What's that much problem anyway? Not like I'm up to no good or barbaric. Quit chewing my leg, shoo. Oh no. Dog finally relents bearing his streets as it backs off. I bet 3 shillings if that's trained to fear my kind. Or trained to herd cattle, why wouldn't someone teach it to be a nice dog and play fetch? Racist. Let's talk to this. Because she's in the dog house. Is Helena still gazing out at nothing? Okay. Let's talk to this guy. Always specialicas. Okay, say goodbye. So we are here. Let's go ask. Like maybe we'll find some random clues. No wait, I took the. I have a. Yeah, the fan, mythical fan. So I did actually come here. Maybe I'll go to just Dolores at the laundry. Well, I don't think she's seen has any clues on the killer. At least that she would be willing to tell us. Back again, I see. Hurry up then. What do you need? Show her the fan you found. Ah, seems like the kind of thing you would be interested in. My, that is lovely. May I hold it? Dolores turns the fan over and over, admiring its unusual design. Truly remarkable. Perhaps I'll be back. Wait, did I? Okay, so she just admired it. What's the point? That was weird. I've been to the bathhouse recently. Cable Street. We talked to this guy already, but let's try it again. Yeah, nothing interesting here. And now I'm wondering, like, there's the Mabaso, whatever, the Zulu woman mystery store owner. Like, there was a meeting. Yeah, this was with this character. Yeah, because it was the guy from the asylum. It's the guy from the asylum, and we talked with him, Mr. Wainwright, something, right bite, bum biter. Wait, I have more money now. I have 24 bucks. Maybe I can Ask her to make me a painting. Mention Hello again, Mr. Daly. What can I do for you? Mention Calvin Quill. You know, I met one of your fellow artists in similar straits, except that you seem to be enjoying at least some measure of success. Calvin Quill, penny poet extraordinaire. That scoundrel, my, but he does get around. Forgive me, Calvin and I shared a fling in the past, more than one actually. If I had to guess, their relationship is still ongoing. He's such flighty, mopey thing, yet somehow I find the combination of raw passion and fragile ego endearing. Ask her for a portrait. So, could you paint my portrait now? Believe so. £3. Alright, let's do it. Oh, we got an achievement. Alright, let's begin. You have a striking form, Mr. Daly. Very satisfying to capture with the brush. Thank you, Miss Lincoln. I'll be sure to have this installed at your place. Just give me your visiting card. Okay, sure thing. I always carry a few of them on my person. Pleasure doing business, Mr. Daly. Good day to you. Alright. Can we get any new info about this guy? Truly, I can't imagine what it is. Yeah. So he doesn't give a fuck about me. Can't really think because I've been already to the Rose and everything to Palladium to talk to people about like the courtesan killer, so I don't think they're gonna have any info for me. Beds for vagrants. Yeah, that's beds for vagrants looking like coffins. Pavel isn't here now, or is he? Because he was at the tavern. Cot. Oh, Pavel's not around. I guess he doesn't bother to lock anything up. Who want to steal any ruddy rats? Somebody in the rat baiting business, but I guess Pavel's respect earns him immunity from brigands and ne'er-do-wells. Bandits. He's indeed a rare bird. Not many of London streets possess such a luxury. How Pavel can sleep without being bothered by the squeaking of rodents is beyond me. But the straw chick does look comfortable at least. A mattress made from coarse cotton, usually filled with straw. It's a fine place to sleep as long as hygienic standards aren't high. Desk. Aside from a few books, writing implements, and scraps of paper, there's not much to be found here. But I could open the door and see what lies within. Okay, sure. No harm in taking a peek. Inside the drawer is a scattering of candies, inkwells, and coins, shilling words at least. Their owner notice if anything went missing. No, I don't want to steal from this guy. Cook fire. Hades, just smelling the pots enough to make my stomach growl. Potato soup most likely. I recall being served such a dish back at the orphanage. Perhaps taking care of animals can make one swear off meat. Drinkware. Seems like Pavel has a fine taste for rodents as well as libations. Smell of alcohol so potent you could get shikered just by poking around in here. Drunk. Never heard of shikered before. Alright. So, no, nothing really here except I guess we could steal the money, but. Yeah, I really don't feel like poking around in the orphans. I guess I should just go to the docks and try to get to the ship. Oh wait, there's still Dante over here. Let's go talk to Dante. Well, he has his shop near the Palladium, so it's possible he could have noticed something. Really, mate, there's a deal of numbers spinning in my head, and I don't want to lose track. Let's go along. Okay, I won't bother you. Yeah, I think I don't know. I'm getting confused, like which characters have had which conversations with which NPCs. So yeah, there's the ferry. Let's save. Ferryman, will you please? Better make sure I'm done with what I need to get done in London. Once I'm way out in Braxton, I don't know when I can make it back. Tomorrow or next week? Hey, if the party is a good one. Don't get ahead of yourself. I think there's still much to be done in a sober fashion, that is. Uh, well, the crone is saying I should still go somewhere. Like, yeah, I have this. So this is me traveling landing at the Braxton Ferry landing. So it's in the ferry, right? So this is at the Braxton Manor. I wonder if so. Is there something to do with the crone and the courtesan killer? Uh, I don't know. I don't want to waste time. Like I considered maybe I should look up a walkthrough, but let's just take the ferry. You know, we don't have to solve every task. This suspense is terrible. I hope it will last. Yeah, we we can't. I can't. You know, I don't have to get every task, every quest, and everything. Nay, following up on a hint from Molly, you learned from Ivana that the courtesan killer's letter is fake. Every clue is bringing you closer to the culprit, a feeling that is full of excitement and danger. You picked up your costume for the party at the manor and then embarked with Tenor and Ironbeard on the ferry. The manor moves with a life of its own. Lord Braxton has pulled strings to divert hydroelectric power from the nearest dam, making it the first English house to be wholly lit by water-spun turbines. Hasty liaisons of gentlemen and escorts creep down the rose garden path every night. Lord Braxton's love of soirees being unending. Also unending is Lord Braxton's desire to flaunt his status. With paper lanterns, bonfires, even dirigibles grazing the manor's grounds and skies whenever special occasions unfold behind the manor's closed doors. This place is an ode to wealth and to detachment from the harsh realities of London life. Why, what a cozy little estate. Particularly in this dreary rain, cozy is not how I would describe Braxton Manor, just up the hill from the ferry dock. Clara? Clara Reed, piss off, you louts, out of my way. Rude, stupid, or awkward men. What in the Sam Hill is all this racket? Clara, my dear, seems there's some poor house chap shouting for you. Euphemism for the devil, devil. I like what in a Sam Hill. I like the saying. Clara Reed. And who might you be, lad? I guess let's be tactful. We stole from him, so. This is Atticus Daly, a customer of mine. A customer. Apologies, Clara Reed. I didn't know your normal fee was everything a man has plus the bag it's in. Just my luck to run into him here. I heard you run in with Jemmy last night. Had one of my own, in fact. I know the winnings were part of Molly's ploy. All the same, perhaps an apology is in order. Yes, well, I suppose that might go some way towards settling things between us. Though I can't say I enjoy being rooked while on the nod. Robbed while sleeping, of course. Such is the way of things in our dear city, Mr. Daly. Ooh, intellect increased to 18. How smart. Smarty pants. Now, sweetie, if I follow this nice and clear, am I to understand you hornswoggled this cowboy? In the most literal sense, mind you, as he slept. Tricked or deceived? That's about the gist of it. Who ain't that proper outlaw move? That's my Spitfire adventurers at work. Mr. Daly's practically fuming. Jenner's laughter fades, perhaps noticing he's crossed the line. Uh, yes, simply apologize. Apologies, Atticus, really. Sure, if you're going to be friends again, you may as well have this. The hulking Minotaur proffers a fine lady's fan painted with scene out of myth. That was not what I expected at all. Thank you, Atticus. How thoughtful. Okay, so that's how you give the fan to her. And I don't know what's the point with this collection stuff. Is there like, does it give them combat strength at the final battle or something? Of course, I have no use for it, but I think it suits you, I think. Well, I'm glad that's settled, but Clara, we should get a move on. Miss Reed, perhaps before I forget, one last thing, though perhaps it doesn't matter much in the end. Yes? Well, I was the one who stumbled upon the body of your coworker this morning, and I thought I should tell someone who might care. As it happens, I've been looking into the murders myself, and the information he has could be pertinent. Let's hear him out. What would you like to share? The body was a wreck, and furniture was topsy-turvy as if it had been thrown about, in a state of disorganization or disarray. I saw much the same in my own investigation. What struck me as odd, though, was the smell of the room, and I bet it had blown off by the time the copper showed up. Particular smell? It smelled like perfume or incense, strong notes of bergamot and rose. Zora, she likes bergamot at least. Familiar enough in a bordello, but I thought I might mention it anyways. Bergamot and rose, most likely Fleur de Bulgarie. Ah, yeah, this thing. It's quite popular scent, so I'm not sure it's much of a lead. There was a bottle in Zora's flat. I found a bottle of Fleur de Bulgarie in Zora's flat. Suspicious to say the least, I should track her down post haste. Thank you, Atticus. This information may yet prove useful. Of course, doesn't mean that she doesn't necessarily kill her. Like maybe she was there on the crime scene before anybody else for some reason. Good luck to you then. I hope you catch the wretch and put a stop to these killings. Shall we take the coach? The rain is really coming down. Daily boy, you'll be catching the next one, eh? Not enough room for all of us. Sure, I'll wait for the next one and I see if I can scare up a bottle of gin in the meantime. Safe travels, Atticus. Alright. The fresh air makes nice change from London. No offense, Miss Reed. None taken, Tenor. London is not my city, born nor raised. It is merely where I spent the last few years. I'm glad to hear that, sweet pea. Quite glad. If you be so inclined, I'd like to treat you to the big blue skies of Texas someday. Not exactly subtle about it. Mm, best enjoy what we have right now, wouldn't you say, Duff? Ooh, intuition increased, yes. You'll love it, Spitfire. I take you on a proper riverboat. None of those meandering steam mechanics. We'll take a gas powered boat up the Mississippi. Now that's power for you. And I'm quite sure the freshness of the river does not suffer for it. Not that I've leg to stand on after living with the miasma of the Thames. I've been making a killing sailing to the Cajuns, a cultural group from French Louisiana with roots trying them to French Acadia among others. We're working up a seaworthy version, see if we can get the Seminole Peninsula hooked. An indigenous nation that secured its sovereignty in the eyes of colonial forces in the early 1800s after a prolonged war period. It occupies North America's southern peninsula and is home to a mix of former slaves from North America and Caribbean, a mosaic of indigenous tribes and Creole speaking peoples from Louisiana and elsewhere. So, occupies North America's southern peninsula. Does it mean Florida or like Mexico or I guess Florida? Because some things are a bit different in this world than actual history. Yeah, perhaps the Zulu in time. Discuss your past. I'm afraid I didn't venture very far south in my young years. I've no small familiarity with the coast, Boston, Philadelphia, and the like. Stretch of years in New York better off forgotten. At this point, I'm more familiar with the south of Europe than the continent where I was born. Oh, what a travesty! You Americans are so insular. The Republic of Texas would welcome you with open arms, Miss Reed, particularly with a gentleman entrepreneur of my caliber on your arm. His wink is so ostentatious as to be comical. I suspect this is how he charms all his marks. Lowers their guard. Correct the assumption. My family was from Acadia, a French colony on the northeastern coast of North America with strong trade connections to the Wabanagi Confederacy. Okay, I recall precious little from time prior to move south when I was but a tyke. Not American then, not originally. Though I take your meaning all the time. All the same. Stuff all the time. What? Well then, my friends, shall we make our grand entrance? Yes, let's head inside. Rest assured, this is not the last you've heard of the miracle of gasoline combustion. I'll have these highfalutin London types hooked soon enough. The manor is full of richly carpeted hallways and Egyptian statues on display for tonight's party. The windows are as high as a single story building and bathing every room in a pale cobalt moonlight. Portraits of the Bragg family line the walls, painting every member in positive and irreproachable strokes. The house itself seems like a monument to opulence, reminding guests of the wealth and power of their host. Lord Silas Bragg was gifted the property when he earned his lordship. But due to tensions between the original owner and a string of uncooperative architects, the manor came together piecemeal over more than a decade of building. Lacking a unified structure, some staircases lead to dead ends. There are many empty door frames in the underground chambers, rumored to connect to the tunnel system leading back to London. What such a system would be useful for is almost anyone's guess. Okay, this sounds like some Epstein stuff here. Introducing Mr. Tanner Cunningham, visiting from Republic of Texas, Mr. Cunningham's companion, Mr. Iron Bear of the Comanche, and Miss Clara Reed of London. Is that Lady Braxton? I wonder if she is half as eccentric as her dear husband. Miss Reed, Mr. Tanner, Iron Bear. Oh, I like that. Welcome, friends. Welcome to Braxton Manor. Lady Braxton has been sampling the punch already, or else another strong drink. She is probably oiled up, tipsy or drunk. Allow me to point out some of the esteemed company you'll be keeping this evening. There's Sir Willard Rathbone, animal lover. Is the animal pet salesman. He loves the furry deers a little too much, if you take my meaning. Oh my god. Burn him. I dearly hope I don't. And Dr. Clancy Wainwright, talented surgeon and pharmacologist, though one wonders how much of the drugs in his lab end up in the hands of his patients. A baseless accusation as far as I'm aware, though the good doctor has been known to play a lab rat for himself time to time. Over there we have Sir Alfred Cornham Boyle, author of escapist literature for the masses. I suppose we all should be thankful they can read it all. And Lady Annabella Bryan, the one with the famous father. Pity she never amounted to much herself. Is that all? Is the bloodbath over? She has quite a sharp tongue. Well, those are some of our most notable attendees. Phew, I'm getting dizzy. Is there anything I can get you? Self-service for the drinks is just over there. Did I hear that this party is to feature an unwrapping? Oh yes, we have several ancient artifacts from the time of the pharaohs, including, well, a stone, a few other things. Just look around, you'll see. But as you say, that's not even the best part. She sways in place a little, eyebrows raised, and waits for me to look appropriately anticipatory. We have a mummy! A real, genuine, dead Egyptian mummy. Is it gonna, get animated and kill people? And the climax of the evening will be unwrapping of our desiccated guest. As she conveys this information, Lady Braxton's demeanor can only be described as gleeful. How intensely ghoulish. Yet I must let it lie. May I ask, will Lord Braxton be making an appearance this evening? Silas is out tinkering in his workshop. The guest house is in the back gardens as is his wont. He's going to make a big announcement later on that all the guests simply must hear. Oh, I can't wait to find out what it is. About the workshop in the guest house, do I detect a note of discontent, Lady Braxton? I'm not discontent. I simply don't care a whit for Silas's strange hobbies and inventions, nor do I understand everyone's endless fascination with steam. It's hot water, mist. Anyway, it is a wonderful excuse to throw a party. Curtail the conversation. Thank you for the gracious welcome, your ladyship. Not at all. If you need anything, my servants will be glad to assist, and let me know if when they get surly. Enjoy the party. Do let me know if you need anything. Glad those formalities are done with. Oh my, I do believe I spy the eccentric Mr. Rathbone over yonder. That's certainly a choice for the guest list. He's hardly one to talk. And I, by my lucky stars, is that Babbage himself. No, my mistake. Quite a shrewd countenance on that old chap, though. You can't blame a man for seeing the resemblance. Mr. Reed, I've not known you to be a wallflower. Shall I assume you're off to socialize? Indeed, have you any time to mingle on your own, or will you be keeping an eye on general evening? Why, Miss Barney, of course. I've always been such a fan of her work. There goes Tenor off to make his mark on London elite. Ostensibly, it is my job to keep an eye on Cunningham, but clearly he finds himself occupied. I can find some time to myself when he's otherwise engaged. Alright, Iron Bear, try to enjoy yourself. Same to you, Clara. Right, time to get the lay of the land in here. Let's save. And we are finally at the party. We are not singing though. Let's have a look. Tattered book. Somebody left out a book here. I found there's at least something worthwhile in just about anything published. If only I still had the spare time for reading that I had in my college days. Title reads, Tale of the Stable Boy and the Lusty Milkmaid. Oh. I'm certain it has value in its own way. Let's just glance at the passage. See? Here the heroine is admiring the strength and posture of a horse and imagining how it must look to see it gallop. Uh-huh. Next passage seems to be a treatise on animal husbandry, I hope. So perhaps not every book has value after all. Look on the bright side of life. Dun, 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 dun. Always look on the bright side of death. Though I may not agree with the author's goals, the book's readers now doubtless have a better understanding of equine anatomy. It's important to remember that there are chances to learn anywhere you look. It's random observation. Seated statues. Pair of ancient Egyptians, perhaps they were royalty, though royalty usually have fancier hats. Sarcophagus. I wonder which is more valuable, the Braxton estate or this priceless relic. Let's take a dump in it. Beverages. Collection of relatively cheap libations, perhaps Silas reserves his more expensive bottles for himself. Okay, Willard Rathbone. It's no surprise to see Sir Willard Rathbone here. Silas's penchant for audacious guests seems never to wane. Curtian addressed him as Sir Rathbone. Sir Rathbone, it's pleasure to see you again. Surely there's no harm in humoring his delusional knighthood. Everyone should indulge in a little nonsense now and again. I can't Trollop and certainly in no position to throw stones. Fancy seeing you here, Miss Reed. Go on, Wally, say hello. Perch, perch. Denounce Wallace's manners. Not a particularly friendly bird, is he? He has a brain that's larger than a walnut, but smaller than my own eyeball. Can you really fault him? Ha ha! Absolutely, Wallace has roughly the same intellectual capacity to qualify for the local magistrates. Ask how he knows Silas. Might I ask you how you know Lord Braxton? Well, the upkeep and the health of exotic animals vastly outweighs any profit they make in public venues. Lord Braxton is one of my more charitable patrons, you see. His financial aid keeps my humble zoo afloat and available to all. Which tacitly makes you beholden to him. Okay, ask about the courtesan killer. It seems death is not merely a reoccurring theme in the party but in the news as well. What are your thoughts on the courtesan killer? Ooh, nasty business indeed. I trust you are referring to the killer's handiwork and not the unfortunate victims. Yes, so dear. I didn't mean to, for my comment to come across as cruel. Yes. Huh. Well said, my boy. I may not agree with you and your fellow harlots' choice of work, but no person deserves to be slaughtered in so a heinous manner. Self-righteous tosser. My Wally can be quite the attack dog. If you ever feel your safety is compromised, perhaps you might borrow him and he'll trail behind you like a trained horse. Oh, that's quite... For a small fee, of course. But of course. Request his thoughts on the unwrapping party. What are your thoughts on the theme of the ball and the main event? Oh, Egypt! I really must get back there sometime. You been? Oh yes, it's home to my favorite exotic bird. I said my favorite bird, Wally. You're my favorite exotic animal, bar none. Yes, home to the African grey parrot. They're so smart that they need only listen to a sentence once before they can repeat it perfectly. Fascinating. Sounds like, it's a puzzle item you have to get. As for the unwrapping events, I don't expect much other than bones and dust. That's what I found when I unwrapped a mummified cat during an expedition. Mummified pets? I remember reading that somewhere, though it sounded so far-fetched. Did they mummify their pets so that they might have their company in the afterlife? Fascinating. Not only company, but protection too. Wally, will you protect me when we cross over to the Choir Invisible? Reference to the poem by George Eliot describing the hope for an afterlife in the memories of those still living. Oh, he's still sour about the favorite bird slip. Say goodbye. Ta-ta for now. Enjoy the rest of the party, Sir Rathbone. You as well, my dear. It's Lady Braxton. Approaching the lady as the house is somewhat difficult, not for any great crowd milling about her, but the unsteadiness of her stance. It's a genuine concern whether she might suddenly topple if approached from the wrong angle and forced to turn in an unexpected direction. Maggie, come girl, I need a refresh. Reintroduce yourself. Pardon me, I think you've mistaken me for someone else. My name is Clara Reed. We met earlier this evening. Clara, where has Maggie gone off to? It's so hard to find good help. Ask about the mummy? That is a fantastic mummy you have on display. Where, might I ask, did it come from? She blinks twice slowly, trying to focus her eyes on me, most unbecoming. Why, my dearest Clara? As you well know, my illustrious husband, when he is not working, whoring, or otherwise ignoring his matrimonial duties, she sways. Where was I? You were about to tell me where the mummy was procured. Ah, yes, my husband has many important connections. You know, among them Sir Flinders Petrie, famed British Egyptologist. Okay, let's just say that when we require a mummy, we get one. I wonder if that sentence has ever been spoken before. And before you ask, no, I do not put stock in those silly superstitions of curse, ghastly and depraved, not worthy of mention. She leans forward, eyes wide. It's very clear that she wishes to further discuss the curse in question. Tell me about the mummy's curse. You mentioned the curse. Her whole face lights up. She has likely been waiting the entire evening to find someone to discuss this with. Oh, yes, a most dreadful thing it is. Ladies of upstanding moral fiber should not concern themselves with such. She leans in conspiratorially. There is a distinct possibility she might fall, given the angle. But just between you and I, there is a delicious rumor that this mummy's coffin had a warning on it in Egyptian. All who violate my tomb shall be cursed forevermore. Cursed! Can you imagine? I can, in fact. I knew a priestess of Hecate once who was skilled in such things, but it's best to let her have her fun. A goddess in Greek mythology often associated with darkness and witchcraft. Scandalous! And that very mummy here at the party. Are we all cursed then? Oh, could you imagine someone might get injured or catch a light? Her balance teeters as she almost stumbles into a nearby candle stand. Ask where Madame Zora is. Pardon me, your ladyship, but would you know where I might find Zora Luich? Zora, you say? Yes, I think I saw her step out in the back gardens. The evening is quite gorgeous after all. Gorgeous, isn't it? Still raining. Oh yes, but it's bound to stop at any moment, I'm sure of it. Ask for more details about the curse. Do you know anything else about the curse? Has anyone involved in the mummy's extraction encountered bad luck? Lady Braxton makes as if to whisper, only she forgets to lower her voice. Keep this just between us, ladies, but I hear the ship carrying the mummy he was lost at sea with the whole crew and all their cargo. That's terrible, all those drowned men. Thankfully the mummy was recovered despite the setback. Express your amazement. What an awful ordeal. It does not make for quite a story though. Oh yes, the captain told me as much. Would you believe it? He floated to shore clutching tightly to the casket. Did he now? Showed me the payout from the Royal Exchange and everything. Naturally, given his bravery, I paid extra upon delivery. Let it not be said that I am heartless. London's finest centre of commerce, established in 1571. An extra cost and a captain transporting contraband goods. Sounds like somebody I know. Indeed, Green Street. Likely a coincidence, but even so I might want to ask him about it. Best not tell her that she was slightly fleeced. She seems happy enough to have paid it for a good story. Thank you for your time, Lady Braxton. John, sure. Right. Gonna go get some water. I'll be right back. Alrighty, back with some water. Banquet table. If Silas wanted to go the extra mile, he could have had these victuals gold plated, food and provisions. Globe. Looks to be the work of an English mapmaker, seeing as the Empire's many colonies are prominently marked. Dr. Wainwright. By the saints, is Dr. Wainwright, the one Ivana interviewed by way of my assistance? He looks upset, glancing around as if to find someone to unload his worries upon. Oh, hello, I'm Mr. Clancy. I'm Dr. Clancy Wainwright. It's a pleasure to meet you. Clara Reed, a pleasure, sir. Miss Clara Reed, well, I'm grateful for the company. He seems particularly perturbed. Perhaps he needs another drink. Ask him why he seems distressed. Pardon me, doctor, but you seem distressed. Is there something wrong? And yeah, everybody's just like, they're at the party, but everybody's standing like separately, like, you know, in their own corner. Well, yes, in fact, there is indeed something wrong. Go ahead, doctor, I'm listening. You see, I'm the chief physician of the Bethnal House Sanitarium. A most unfortunate event has occurred, or rather a series of events. He takes a heavy breath as if it hurts him physically to think of the subject. Well, to put it simply, a number of my wards have been transferred. Is it that common for patients to go to other institutions for specialty treatment? Yes, it does happen. But none of these transfers occurred under my approval. In fact, I was not consulted at all, and I'm the general director. It's like, why do you tell this to some random woman? That's terrible. Where did they go? Forgive my bluntness, but I suspect my own associate board member at Bethnal House and our host here tonight may have a hand in the transfers. You mean Lord Braxton? The doctor nods patiently, clearly feeling better having shared his concerns. Naturally, when Lord Braxton extended an invitation to the soiree, I decided to attend so that I might speak to him directly. What was his explanation? He has thus far evaded me. He will answer my questions before the night is done, however. Be sure of that. Well, best of luck with that, Doctor. Seems Silas is quite popular tonight. Get his take on the party's theme. What do you think of the theme Egypt and mummies and whatnot? You know I haven't given it a lot of thought, Miss Reed. I have too much on my mind. But as far as the mummy goes, I suppose something that old isn't likely to carry anything catching, or I hope not. Not even an ancient flesh-withering curse. Haha, phew. Thanks for that. I needed a good laugh tonight. No, the many maladies I've come across in my profession, a pharaoh's curse isn't among them. Ask about the interview with Ivana. Tell me, doctor, have you spoken to a woman called Ivana Orsini of late? Ivana said the meeting went well. I wonder if the good Dr. Wainwright feels the same. What? How do you know about that? Secretive, I have my ways. Well, that's not at all alarming. One might start to suspect a conspiracy. One might. However, since there is no sense in hiding it, yes, I've spoken with the woman in question. Climbed right through the window, in fact, of the establishment I was patronizing. I had to admit to being ambushed in a brothel. Showcasing a level of dexterity usually only seen in lichens, it must be said, which makes a fellow wonder. Well, yeah, we sort of find out, like, it's most likely she is a werewolf, because she was, like, trapped in the sex dungeon of Zora. Lichens, you say? Anyhow, the interview did go as well as could be expected in the end. I don't mind a bit of good journalism, and I do like to share what I'm working on when I'm not confidential, of course. Of course, I shall refrain from pressing further. Much obliged, Miss Reed. Inquire about what he's looking for. Excuse my presumptions, Doctor, but are you perhaps looking for something? Ah, well, you see, I had been considering. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I had been contemplating looking for something in one of the upstairs rooms. Scandalous. As I was deliberating, I saw none other than that scallywag Greenstreet emerging from a room. He was carrying a portfolio of sorts, which he hid beneath his coat. I'm concerned that he may have gotten away with, well, I suppose I don't know what it is. Scallywag, that's putting it mildly. Yet clearly he is a man of ill repute, and he has absconded with something of value. As you had intended to. His face just lost some color that cut to the quick. To deeply distress. Well, not in so many words, but yes. Anyway, Rod, I considered alerting someone to what I had seen, but I was concerned to raise an alarm about guests venturing into the back rooms. Okay. It's been nice speaking with you, Dr. Wainwright, but I must be going right now. Of course, Miss Reed, best of luck in your endeavors. Looks like Joker, this guy here. Right, is this the painting Tessica was painting outside, but it looks much bigger here? Lovely to see you, Ginger Cake. And you, Tessica dear, how did you get an invitation? I painted the Lady Braxton many times. You wouldn't believe the closet full of dresses that woman has. So Lord Braxton invited me, and I thought to myself, why not? But did you know there would be a mummy on display? I can't say I read the invitation closely. To be clear, I don't condone this sort of thing at all. But here we are, and there's not another ferry back to London until much later. Besides, if Lord Braxton is buying her work, then it pays Miss Lincoln to stay a while. Of course, you're here with Senna. He must be loving the chance to rub shoulders with the London elite. How do you like the party? It's all the better for seeing you. Feeling is quite mutual. A lot of blue bloods don't know how to throw a proper bash. Not like back at home. So yes, of course, members of the upper class. Not like back at home. Indeed not. With the 400 carrying on like it's their God-given mission. 400? List of New York High Society, okay? Ironic, isn't it, that America should fight for independence only to establish their own nobility. I never thought of it that way, but you're correct, of course. Very astute, Clara. Ask about her husband. Do you think of your husband often? Not as much as I used to. Of course, I will always miss him. Moving to London was indeed the distraction I'd hoped, as it was for me, at least for a time. Tell her about the bounty on your head. Okay, fine. I had a word about the Lancasters, Apparently they've heard that I'm in London and they placed a bounty on my head. Saints, Clara, really? Why didn't you tell me? And to think that the violent lout of a husband is trying to haunt you from the grave. Gilbert may have been a violent man, but I had the last laugh in that regard, did I not? Poison was kindness for a man like that. There were always worse ways it could have been done. Okay, so wait, is that our husband and we poisoned him? Okay. I'm not overly concerned with the Lancasters. I'm sure I'll find some way to deal with them. I should hope so. Do be careful, Clara. I know full well the sort of devil may care life you led, but I worry all the same. I've lost those I care for in the past, and I'd like not to do so again. Move on. She looks around surreptitiously, ensuring we are not overheard. Any luck chasing down the clues we spoke of? Confide in Tessica, sure. In fact, I have followed the trail to this very party. Oh, how thrilling! But do be careful, Ginger Cake. I couldn't bear to lose you. Always am. But that's why I always worry. I shall endeavor to keep my actions tonight far from Tessica. It was nice to share a few words with Tessica, but I'd better best be going. Well, Tessica, I must be getting on, but it was good to speak with you. Always a pleasure. Oh, Iron Bear is there. Anybody else here? Let's do another save. So many NPCs to talk to. Miss Reed, I hope you're having a pleasant time. Ask his opinion of the party. Now that you've had a while to take it all in, what do you think of the party? It's very different from any celebration I've seen at home, even unsettling. These guests seem uncomfortable, anxious, except for those who have indulged too much in drink. They behave like fools. Very astute. You have a keen eye for people. Have you taken a look at the mummy yet? I have not, nor do I intend to. Only a madman would disturb the dead's rest. I understand that these people worship science above nature or tradition, but my heart tells me there must be consequences. It's gruesome enough, I'll grant you that. I've seen some gruesome misread. This is. He waves his hand vaguely, lost to words. It seems he's done talking. Desk. Neat desk speaks of an ordered mind. Leonine statue. A granite lion in its natural habitat. Estates where wonders of the world are flaunted. Ah, there's the corpse. Okay. The nobles will do anything to flaunt their wealth. That disturbs me more than this mummy. Don't mind me, Spitfire. Just taking in Lord Braxton's mighty fine estate. Lord Almighty, who wouldn't want to live inside this humble little abode? If this estate is humble, then I'm the greenest lady in waiting. You seem to be enjoying yourself. Miss Reed, if there's one place Tenor Cunningham will shine, it's a party. And what a party! People from all over the world, these strange artifacts from ancient Egypt, and an idea strikes him, and for a brief instant he looks like an awestruck child. I'd almost forgotten the best part. My stomach's all aflutter about the guest of honor. I can't wait for them to unwrap that old-time luminary. Did you talk of mummy's curse doesn't bother you? No, ma'am, just some fairy tale English nonsense. Right superstitious sort of folk, if you ask me. Now, I've seen saints and magic men do some miraculous things, but dead mummy magic? Hogwash, my dear. Oh? Why, I bet this wrapped up fellow was just a palace scribe or even some so and so off the street. Leastwise, that's what I gather from what I know of the mummy trade. Who's out there tabulating curses for the everyman? An ordinary or typical person. That is a surprisingly sensible view of it, at least as far as curses go. Did you drum up any new business? Young lady, if I'd thought to bring my deeds and papers with me, I'd already be richer by about £1,000, but the prospects are promising nonetheless. Well, keep at it then. Persistence is the key, and men like you never seem to run out of that. I beg your pardon, that sounded like a bar, but I do believe that's just what you intended. You wound me, Spitfire. To my surprise, the man does seem chagrined by my joke, an emotion I had not thought him capable of. Then he grins like a jackass and brays like one too. Not to worry, Spitfire, just pulling your leg. You know I'm like a rock in red Texas sun. Couldn't burn me if you tried. Make your exit. Well, Dove, I suppose I'll leave you to it. Alright, Spitfire, go make the rounds. Don't worry about me. Just fine right here. Is there something I can help you with? Ask where Madame Zora is, where we sort of know. I'm looking for another guest. I wonder if you might help me find Zora Levich. Ah, yes, the woman in a lovely back dress. I believe she ventured into back gardens for a bit of fresh air. Okay, back gardens, I know. Yes, yes, we know about that. Grand piano. Oh, here's a piece I wouldn't mind having for my own. All I need is a ballroom to go with it. Like it. Why is like a party is called a ball and a ballroom, like party room is a ballroom? Is it because they used to play like basketball or something there, and then they got rid of the basketball? Anyways, a great big block of stone carved with an ancient Egyptian figures. The range and quality of Egyptian artifacts in Silas's possession is truly staggering. This one is quite worn, however, that may be the god Horus on the left, and it's hard to be sure. Horus heresy. Ooh, ladder. If I had a book I treasured so much I'd climb a ladder for it, I'd keep it on a lower shelf. Books mostly related to science, chemistry, and engineering, but also history, law, and a few of the classics. Okay, now let's just. I did a bit of coughing. If there's like lots of text, I won't read all of them, but I guess I should click through them. Achilles, Iphis, and modern narrate inverts. Secluded nature of the culture, unlike stalwart Minotaur, the towering Cyclops, and the clever satyr Nereids have remained isolationist as Ovid writes of Iphis, as the Statius writes for the Achilleid, if it becomes Bacchus to trail a gold embroidered robe behind him. Golden robe, how terribly gauche, tactless or unsophisticated. Dionysus was saved by Thetis, and in some traditions his foster mother was made a goddess of the sea upon her death. Indeed, we might also look towards Bacchanalian tradition, blah blah blah. Okay, creating the divine, Meiji, Shinto, and birth. We may yet see within our lifetime the utilization of divine providence. It is our duty to harness this elevation to the status of divinity of our purposes, to control the force of documented miracles and the creation of new gods, that we may have power for ourselves. Okay. Bruslavia on the subject of a Lycan-run state. Full moons draw rowdy crowds in Bruslavia. Such traditions reach back long before our modern incarnations of moon screams or other medical treatments. Moon creams, prohibitively expensive topical creams that slow or reduce but do not remove the effects of lycanthropy. Dr. Smith Victoria English reports a rather festival-like atmosphere as people transmute into wolves, hunt down wildlife, and run freely through the woods. Oh dear, such chaos. The government and infrastructure of Bruslavia evolved with lycanthropes in mind, and so national infrastructure and precautions reflect this fact. Dr. Smith Victoria English, of course, reports being rightly terrified by such barbarity. Get the Filiki Iteria, the cult of Zeus, and the cost of the War of Independence. And from that great storm that divided the Mediterranean only a decade ago, it is known that Filiki Iteria utilized not only the power of Zeus but that of Poseidon. That doesn't seem right. Weren't Zeus and Poseidon bitter rivals? Would they both have helped the same people? The Filiki restored the great temple of Zeus, elevating it to its perch above Mount Olympus once more, wherein steam airships often docked. And of course, we must discuss the matter of the irrepressible Lord Byron. Step away, okay. But went over my head. Pharaoh statue. Found the wallflower. This one's unlikely to move from his spot by its own volition. And then there was Green Street. Oh, fireplace. Let's throw somebody in first. For all these technological breakthroughs, Silas still seems rather fond of using time-tested heat sources. Miss Reed, well, nice to see you again, eh? Green Street is shocked to see me here. It's written all over his face. Asked him about the portfolio. I cut to the chase, Green Street. There's a certain item I've been looking for, something I believe is of interest to us both. Right, of course. The pate is on the table over by the window there. Not to be missed, I agree, eh? Fast talk this one. I'd have to have an easier time pinning down the bird on the wing. You were witnessed slinking out of Lord Braxton's private rooms with a portfolio hidden under your coat. That's given him pause. The depth of your paranoia is something, Reed, but the fact of a simple fur trapper like myself getting turned around in a sprawling mansion like this isn't much grounds for a conspiracy, eh? No doubt about it, the portfolio is on his person and the diagrams within. Attacked chameleon threatened to rat him out. Yes. Perhaps I should call out your thievery here and now. I'd be thrown out. You'd be thrown out and lose the schematics anyway. Fine. Was it truly that simple? I hate getting caught up in my skiing scenes like this, at least when it's not my own making. I'll give you the schematics, but not for nothing. £2. Fine, take your money. Thank you, Miss Reed. I'll be looking forward to our next transaction. Okay, that was much easier. Oh, we don't have much money left. So this is the poorest character. Now we can give it to Evil Bear, Iron Bear. What's his name? Iron Bear. It's written all over your face, Miss Reed. You've been searching the diagrams here at the manor, have you not? What news do you bring? But couldn't you just see me talk to Green Street over there? Though normally impossible to read, Iron Bear cannot keep the tremor from his voice. I have the diagrams, here they are in all their glory. Iron Bear accepts the stiff bond papers with an almost religious reverence. He scans them hungrily to confirm their contents, then hastily hides them away again. I don't expect you're familiar with our struggles against the Republic of Texas, but I gained this at the Battle of Plum Creek. He traces the scar on his cheek with one finger. What I lost was a brother and many more fellows of my tribe. The Texas Rangers and their allies attacked us in revenge for the Great Raid launched under Chief Buffalo Hump, which in turn was revenge for the hateful treachery against our peace delegation. Sounds like a full-scale war. A raid begets vengeance, and vengeance begets massacre. But this technology, this repeating rifle of Braxton's, will finally break this chain. The Comanche will recover their security, their dignity. You have my deepest gratitude, Clara, and the gratitude of the Comanche nation. Think nothing of it. I shall not linger here much longer. My mission is complete. Goodbye, Miss Reed. Goodbye, Iron Bear. Good luck. Okay, so what do we get? I guess maybe he's gonna, come help us in the final combat when the, door to hell is opened or something. And the demons come or whatever's gonna happen. Alright, we talked to everybody here, so let's go to the backyard. Alright. If Zora is involved in the murders, I'll have to confront her. If I leave the party, I may not have the opportunity to come back. Okay, let's double check that we are not missing anything, but I don't think we are. The front drive. What's in the front drive? I guess we should have a look here first. There might be, some people here still. Front garden. Gardening defect spotted. Someone's pay will get docked once Lord Braxton learns of this. Okay. So this seems like the killer is gonna... Arsenal Sentry. It isn't exactly lifelike, but it certainly is intimidating. I am programmed for your safety and entertainment. Knock knock. Who's there? No one. Perimeter secure. That's actually pretty good. That's, I wasn't expecting any jokes, and it's lame, but also makes sense. This That's witty, in my opinion. A place to rest and take in the scenery. Don't see much of that in London. Yes, very nice to rest in the rain on a bench. Like, yeah, it's nice to look at the rain, but not if you're, sitting under it. So it's nice to listen at the rain. Or listen to the rain. Is there anything else here? Well, it was worth it just to talk to the robot. If there's nothing else here. Maybe it's like another character they have to sneak in or something. Yeah, there's the have to sneak past the robot or something. So yeah, there's nothing for this character to do there. Alrighty, let's fucking bet. Okay, let's go outside. Oh, there she is. There's Zora. I'd better speak to her while I have the chance. Why is she just standing there? Like, it's raining. Don't they have like a... You'd think they have, some sort of umbrellas here or some, canopy or something in this fancy garden, at least for the party, like installed someplace like that. Ah, Clara, I was sure we'd run into each other. Madame Zora, may I have a moment of your time? Whatever it is shall have to wait. I must return inside. I'm afraid I can't wait. I have some rather urgent questions for you. Urgent. Now's not a good time. I'm quite busy. I need to speak with you about Ivana Orsini. Mention of Ivana's name appears to have piqued her interest. Her brows knit with uncertainty, her eyes darting about to see if anyone overheard us. Have you any idea where Ivana is right now? Somehow Ivana Orsini is the key to all of this. Is she the killer? In truth, I had planned to meet her here. Surely you won't mind if I tag along. Perhaps the three of us could have a discussion. No, Miss Reed, I'm afraid that's out of the question. Though perhaps you could speak with me before she arrives. Very well, Miss Reed, what would you have of me? I guess confront Zora about her familiar ties to Ivana. Why did you not tell me that Ivana was your cousin? In a business where kissing and telling is the kiss of death, it seems only sensible to keep hidden that I am related to a journalist, Miss Reed. Keep it from our clients, perhaps, but why would you need to hide such a thing from your workers? And why would you suppose it any of your business? While we are family, our relationship is a long and rather complicated story. Perhaps it's best if... She looked suddenly off to the side. Hirsute woman. Hello, Zora, Miss Reed. Good heavens, is that Ivana? Ivanka Trump is a werewolf. Ivana, how on earth did you get? Was just about to come speak with you. The personable Zora I spoke with is gone. Her haughty professional demeanor is returning with haste. You know, being a journalist has its advantages. The opulently wealthy do love fluff pieces on their events. Ivana seems in quite a hurry, tension evident in her every step. It's hard to see in the half-light, but... Clara, I'm sorry to pull Zora away, but she and I have matters to discuss. There's a lupine hunch to her shoulders, and no one could ignore the fur patches on her face. Partial transformation. wolfish hunch. Then it's true, Ivana is a werewolf. I'd prefer to come along. Madame Zora and I were just discussing. I assure you, the privacy is not for me but for Zora, unless you would prefer to have this discussion in front of Miss Reed. Very well, Ivy, leads the way. Ivana leaves as quickly as she came. You will wait here if you have any understanding of what's good for you, or any regard for the safety of your person. I need to speak with Ivana, alone. I have never seen her disquieted. Now, goodbye, Miss Reed. Enjoy the rest of your party in your stead, won't you? God's teeth. Expression of surprise or frustration. I can simply let them wander off. Regardless of the killer's true identity, these two are vital players in my investigation. I can't allow them to waltz off into the night. I can still catch up if I make haste. The man who can dominate a London dinner table can dominate the world. Okay. Atticus again. In dogged pursuit of clues to your mother's fate, you followed the breadcrumbs out of London to Braxton Manor, the estate of Lord Silas Bragg, owner of Arsenal Engines, the one of the rare few Cyclops to ever have a lordship. Soon you will tie up the ends of this tale, whatever the outcome. This is the same text, we've read this before. What a mess this day has been, but at least Clara Reed did apologize. She can't be all bad. In any case, Clara said she's investigating murders. I suppose I've done my part by telling her what I saw this morning. I don't imagine there's much else I can do about it either. Okay, task completed, courtesan killer. Besides, I've got enough on my plate as it is. May as well head for the manor, at least I'll be out of the rain. Save and then go have a look. I hope we don't have to talk to all the same NPCs with this one. Atticus. Are you in or are you out? I'm in, shall we? So, task updated. Sneak into the manor. Allow Annika and me to go on ahead. 3 of us together are more likely to draw unwanted attention. When you arrive at the manor, take the side path around the back. We'll meet you at the kennels. Certainly feels like we're about to step into the lion's den. Welcome to the house of fun. Welcome to the lion's den. Won't you come around? I shouldn't overexert myself by walking all the way to the manor. This coach should be proved useful. Okay, let's have a look first. Fountain. Plenty of coins in there. Pick up the coins. Ooh, we got a few coins. Hard times can make one wish for better days. Window. Light in the dark, one small symbol of hope in this rum rigmarole. Strange. Rum hole. Alright. Nothing else here, I guess. Alright, I guess there's nothing else. Well, let's save. Okay, take the coach. The coach. Front garden. Yeah, there's the robot. Nothing like some greenery to brighten up the landscape. Will the robot guy attack us? Oh, side path. Ah, yeah, they told me. Wait, was this shadows? Pool of shadows. There's a decent enough place to perform my illusion. Now for my incantation. Sure. Sight from the fire, hearing from the ether, smell from the air, taste from the water, touch down to the earth in another form. Let's see how they like Atticus Daily human about sound. Is it human? Still looks non-humanish. Oh yeah, I guess it's the side path. So the guard robot is gone. Maybe they distracted it somehow, like the Pavel and Annika. Bench. Hardly anywhere outside. Perhaps Lord Braxton seldom receives visitors outside of special occasions. Right. Um, Paranoid saving. It looks like there's a path here cutting through the brambles. Take it. Whoa, who's this dandy that wandered out from the party? Wait a minute. It's Atticus. Heard. You didn't think you could fool us, did you? If I gotta get a word in, my illusion wears off. Bloody crowd really doesn't last long under scrutiny. Glad to see you made it. Still wanna sneak inside? I'm ready as I'll ever be. Well, it's perfect timing. Lord Braxton has his black dog confined, so okay, here's a guard doggy too. Great. Would have made our job much trickier otherwise. Door is just ahead. Annika will lead the way. Not coming alone? No offense, but as someone with an actual invitation, I'd rather see what sort of hors d'oeuvre are available inside. Good luck. Ah, there's the black doggy. There's Rathbone. Palpable chill creeps up your legs from the flagstone floor as you reluctantly examine your surroundings. The trail has led you to the manor basement. A few scattered lamps feebly contest the shadows encroaching from every corner. Not a sound from the party upstairs can be heard, only a steady dripping from an unseen pipe. The expected damp and mildew cloaks some other undefined scent that somehow suggests suffering. The way on is dimmer still, but perking up as your ears, you detect the tiny sounds of another living presence somewhere ahead. Bottles of wine. It's not gin. It looks like someone stashed away a whole party worth of wine down here, or one enterprising Minnesota's worth. Not now. I need to keep my head clear. It would be fun, just if you could just get drunk and go crazy and yeah. These might have been beautiful paintings, but the mold has got to them. Dumb waiter. Damn, your waiter is so dumb. The dumb waiter delivers victuals between floors and perhaps materials of a certain sensitivity. Food or provisions. Crucifix. By the fates, this brings back memories of the orphanage. I should back away. I believe, yes, I'm certain I've been here before in some childhood nightmare. You're on the right track, I can feel it. It's certainly grim enough down here. Don't worry about it, believe me, I've seen worse. Now that I've made it inside, I just need to find out where my mother is being held. Keep close if there's trouble, stay behind me. And also the kids might be here. The orphans. You'll do as I say. Woo, animal instinct increased to level 23. Yes, grandfather, let's keep going, shall we? Oh, there's the guy. Who is this oddball? Definitely there's something unwholesome about him. I don't like him. There's something off about his face. Ah, yes, I see it. It's missing a fist in the middle. I haven't time for niceties, so I'll get to the point. You have something I need. I wasn't expecting any visitors until later, but my name's Eustace Follival. I'm sure no one cares what your name is, you cretin. You're not dropping in. We're not dropping in for tea. Haha, my, you're quite a violent temper you have, little muppet. We have the cure for that here, if you are interested. Mr. Daly, or shall I say Atticus? Yeah, small child mob. Anyways, did some coughing again. Um, how do you come to know my name? You know how a place like this collects mice. Yes, I overheard them whispering. Enough of your japes. I'm here to save my friends. Where are they? Jokes. Friends, why haven't I the slightest notion, mon petit chat de coutier? Are they as vicious as you, my little alley cat? Watch your tongue, fully well. The girl has questions for you, and when she's done, so do I. Where are you keeping Bertram and Julie? Your mistress Molly had them kidnapped. I'm sure they are down here in this dungeon. That scamp, Parti and wee Julie Boo! Why didn't you say so? Delightful creatures, so resilient. But whatever you do you want with them? I'm here to set them free, you idiot. Yes, alright. Why is that? They're my friends. Ooh, you're infuriating. That was nicely done. There's a blade in her hand, and I never saw it appear. But anyone can procure an orphan child. I can hardly ride down Cable Street without trampling one. I still haven't heard a reason why I should surrender mine. Annika's right. It is him, the monster. And they still got weeks of life left in them. Maybe not little Julie Boo, though. I really don't see. Shut your gob! Wait, what has she done? Okay. Bloody crow, she's a knee-high murderer. Admonish her. That was unnecessarily brutal. You're still young, Annika, but you will soon realize that the violence you do to others will leave a mark on you as well. But you heard what he said. He's got Bertram and Julie chained up somewhere in this horrible cellar. Would you have done any different? I believe I could have found a more humane solution than executing the man. Yes, anyway, let's find your friends. I wonder if they're like, this is like some mutoplasm and he's gonna come back as some zombie mutant monster. Body. Bloody hell, has pallor mortis already set in? After death, paleness that occurs in those with light skin. Or was he always that pale? Maybe he was undead already. Smells like flesh got burned to a crisp in here lately. It turned to ashes even. Yeah, I got a bad feeling about this. Writing tablet. Foolscap notebook full of chemical equations. Inexpensive paper often bound in a tablet. Despite my usual intellectual prominence, I can't make heads or tails of this. Chalkboard. Whoever scribbled this was either onto something or trying to while away the hours underground. I'd wager this device somehow powers the manor above. Let's do another save. Taxes. Death and taxes. Hey, Stolen Hellcat, welcome. Yeah, games while Israel burns. I hope so. Like, time to celebrate. Tomorrow is time for golden news, and of course I will talk that matter about that matter, the Iran-Israel situation. But now I'm just gonna focus on the game. You go on ahead, Atticus. I need to take care of something. Alright, I suppose. Is she gonna take a dump? So wait, okay. Not here. Here. What's this? Molly? I swear, Atticus, you've arrived at last. Molly's well back on the back foot now. Never seen her so flustered. Fully well was under her control the whole time, which means I was lured here. Right into a trap of some sort. Well, Miss Molly, fancy meeting you here. I was invited to this party, see, not so unusual, is it? Jamie was able to see what I needed from Fullyville, and well, since you came all this way, I just decided to dissolve your debt to me, everything as of now. She's sweating, trembling. Have I ever seen Molly sweat? Well, she should tremble. Finally, I have her alone, without any of her half-human thugs to protect her. I should be the one collecting the debt tonight, not the blood debt. Death and taxes? Because I saved the game and the save file was called taxes, and we just killed the guy, or the girl killed the guy. But okay, now, so can we actually kill her? I think that sounds like a good idea. Let's kill her if we can. Molly O'Malley, your shadow has darkened my days for years. You've exploited my weakness, used me, and trod me down for my own gain. I do not need my debts forgiven, for I intend to pay this instant and in full. Atticus, no, please. Okay, task completed. Settle your debts. Okay, that's sort of anticlimactic. I insist. No. Well, that's that. An end to an era. Just goes to show you can't outrun your misdeeds forever. I wonder when I'll pay up for mine. Yeah. Prisoner. That looks very Dark Soulsy, this guy. Prisoner shackled to the wall. What a chamber of horrors this place is. Good sir, I'm not here to harm you. Might I ask your name? Sykes, but you should back away. Crows on the cross, he's a bloody werewolf. Luckily, only partially transformed. But I see why there are chains around his wrists. Check in with the werewolf. You there, fellow, how are you feeling? Are you like to bite me if I set you free? No, I'm too weak, even if I wanted to. Dangerous sort of playmate, a werewolf. Compassion is a virtue, but it only serves the living. I don't doubt he's a victim of some sort of or another, brought here for torturous blood sport. Likely for the amusement of well-wheeled sporting gents. Wealthy, gamblers and stuff. The type of clientele one would see at the party upstairs. Yeah, release him. Right, let's get you unchained. I'm just... Like, what was... Like, what was the... Molly thinking, because she wanted us to come here and go meet Folliewall, right? So we go fight the werewolf. Like, how did we... Hey, stolen haircut. Wait, what's this? Odyssey, death and taxes. I'll link. Oh wait, it's
Authorities say the...
Okay, it's Kirio TV. Is it a song? Aha. This was inspired by the story of Gordon Call, a martyr in the fight against the Syndicate of Satan. Alright, I'll have a look of that later. Thanks for the $1, I guess. First donation, I think. So I'm not worthy. But yeah, I think Molly's scheme is sort of like, why didn't she have security around Folliewall? Thank you. They sure enough have killed me. Let me transform and attack someone. Go, Godspeed. Okay, we got some hope back. think I saved. What's this? Okay. Where's our mom? That's why we came to this place in the first place. Like to this. Oh, orphans. There are the orphans. Okay. Let's save the orphans then. So this is where Annika ran off to. Oh, Annika, glad to see you're safe and sound. Yes, thank you so much. I'm not sure I could have done it on my own. How'd you get the door open? Well, she's a thief. Of course she knows how to lockpick. Seems like she didn't need much help from me after all. Volleyball, of course, snatched the key of the old codger's belt before I tossed him in the acid. Derogatory term for an elderly person. Quick as an alley cat, I ought to pay more attention, I suppose. If I'm not mistaken, these two younglings must be O'Brien's siblings. Oh, Stolen Haircut is saying very edgy stuff that the mustache man was right. Well, I guess you can say that it's hard to deny that at least he had some arguments that should be listened to nowadays. I'm gonna go with that. He had some arguments that are at least warrant discussion. I've said similar stuff before. Oh yeah, can't put us down that easily, though some tried. And thank goodness you're still with us. And what about you, Atticus? Do you need our help now? Was brave and considerate. Some of the brightest flowers bloom in London's alleyway. Get some information. More information never hurts. Can you tell me anything about this place, Bert? Who was holding you captive? Old Fullyvall was in charge down here. Mad as a badger in a trap. That one, but it sounds like Annika's done him in already. Ooh, offer the teddy bear. Yeah, the teddy bear from the sewers. Well, I picked this up a while ago. Perhaps you'd like it more than me. Cor, I can't believe you found it. I left it down the sewer ages ago, when me and Annika were hiding out from that cursed ladsman. An explanation of surprise, amazement, or admiration. Is there anyone else down here? Yes, sir. Now that you ask, there's some great hairy fellow they hauled into one of the cells. They had a bit of a fight to do it too. Not sure you'd want to meet him, even with the bars and all. Thought I heard growling earlier. I hoped it was my imagination. What did Fullywall want with you? He kept injecting me with some stinky juice, told me it was for science. It looked like blood to me, which is really gross. But it sure did something, I'm telling you. Maybe he's turning them into like werewolves or something. He started hollering and laughing and jumping around. Yeah, first time I got the jab, but the scrapes and bruises disappeared and I wished those doghounds would come back. I beat him bad. Fullywall was too smart to open a cage then. How exactly did you two end up here? Two doghounds did it, sir. Backed us on our way to the Sacred Heart. They was too big, biggest I ever saw. They weren't nothing special. One of them had metal hands. That was bold, snatching two orphans by daylight. Bold or plain dumb. These two weren't the brightest of flames, if I'm any judge, so Julia and me was walking home from her textile mill, me doing odd jobs around town, and they jumped us. They were hiding behind a hedge. I got knocked down, but I popped right back up. I get knocked down, but I get it back again. And said, if you're taking Julie, I'm going too. Camaraderie at its best. They tied our hands and feet and tossed us into a grain sack, and then they took us away from a handcart. On a handcart. It hurt a lot. Yeah, it did. So that's that. Now we are here. Something's off about this story, but I can't put my finger on it. Question the kidnapping story. Wait a minute, that story doesn't sound right. This is what happened. Cross my heart. Try to remember. Yes, success. I asked around at the orphanage. They said the two of you were kidnapped from the dorms in the middle of the night. Yeah, I sort of remember. Ah, you gonna believe us or the sisters? All they do is lie. Yeah, remember when Sister Susanna said she was giving me a great cake for my birthday? You'd have thought the way she talked it up, it was to be a croquembouche, French dessert consisting of a cone of choux pastries puffed spotted with caramel. But it was barely a Victoria sponge cake with jam between the two layers. Oh, these kids really know their patisserie. I'm getting hungry, let's move past the pastry talk. Yeah, me too. Anyway, I seem to recall a different story about them being napped from their beds in the night, but it's not worth arguing about. Curtail the conversation. Right, best hurry along. Will you be getting them out of here on your own, Annika? I can take care of myself now, and Julie, but thanks and all for helping out. Don't want to sound ungrateful. Oh, we got an achievement for that. You needn't worry about us. The three of us together are 3 times as dangerous. See you later, Atticus. We'd better get going. Offer to let the orphans live with you. Yeah, why not? Look, I've been at the Sacred Heart and I've been out on the street. It's not an easy life right away. I was thinking, I've got some extra room in my place. I could maybe put in some adoption papers, make it official. Oh, what is like there? Did her eyes light up or just now am I really doing this? Am I ready to adopt those children? Tell them about your garret. It's just a little hole in the wall over a shop in Tenner Street. It's not much, but it's somewhere to hang your hats out of the rain. I might have to sweep and dust a bit, get a few cots, and there's a hole in the corner I should probably patch up, but guess I can do this. Help someone else for a change. I might not be a replacement for the real parents, but I will be as much of a father as I can be. That sounds awful. I'm sure we can do better. Oh no, we lost hope. Thanks anyway, Atticus. See if you can get some fresh air soon. We've been down in this basement for a while. Okay, perhaps I will. Stay safe and sound. I wonder if we could convince them to move if our place was better. Ungrateful scallywags. It's alright, the garret is already close quarters, even for a single minute so. Alright. Let's double check that there's nothing here of value. Yeah, there's the werewolf, there's the dead body. Yeah, okay, let's see if Fullywold is gonna come back as a zombie or something. Dummy. Moral force to reckon with. Oh. Old crone. Alright. Nope. It's not resurrected yet. It seems too easy suddenly to, just people die, bad guys die. I guess I would have liked to have at least some sort of combat system, like at least die roll, something like that, or a few questions how you deal with the fight. We came from here, down to manor, down to back guard. All right. I think we came from there, right? Let's go into the manor. We're a guest here, right? The door is locked from the other side. I can hear people conversing, but I better not enter as an uninvited guest. So we are not invited. Wasn't this sort of like the what's her name, Molly, sort of invited us? I suppose I've done all I can down here. Leave the basement. Truth is rarely pure and never simple. They really love Oscar Wilde. Teddy Redgrave, haven't seen him in a while. Braxton Manor basement. Molly's latest contract put a decidedly unique spin on werewolf hunting. She wanted Mr. Sykes captured alive. It wasn't the cleanest of jobs, and Otto broke off on his own partway through, highlighting the downside of his new independence. But Sykes was delivered in the end. So do we have to fight Sykes now with this dwarf since we let him out? I don't care much for nobility, but this Braxton fellow certainly knows how to throw a party. Alright, that a man could get used to real champagne. Stuff in the East End tastes just like gin and grape juice. I believe that was the first time I've ever felt I wasn't dressed nattily enough for an occasion. Nattily, okay? Right, we will discover the corpse. So. Crucifix. Okay, let's go check the items first. Somebody set this crucifix aside either in disuse or disgust. Perhaps the head of the household lost faith. Annoying blue bloods upgraded your golden one. Dumb waiter. Likely used to deliver for goods, food, tools, even body parts, both mechanical and organic. So yeah, it is different comments with this character. There's black mold crawling all over the frames. No wonder nobody hangs them. Too dangerous to pick them up. Well, how do you do? There's a sizable wine collection in here. I've heard the lady of the house is a bit of a problem, though looking at these vintages, it's tough to blame her. Yeah, we only have demand payment from Molly. Well, that's gonna be different. Difficult now, if she's dead. And the volume of equations here make others' inner workings look simple by comparison. A complex series of chemical equations. I wonder if whoever wrote this kept working the problem in their head when they ran out of space. Okay, let's go see the corpse. Hello, some fellows had a tipple too many. Ah, that would be Fulliwald, scientist and maker of questionable serums. He's certainly not well. At a glance, I'd say he's never going to recover. Looks like he was murdered, his throat cut like a hog. His body won't last long in that vat of acid. Let's keep moving. We might find something else amiss. Furnace. That is used for heating purposes, more likely to dispose of defective apparatus and bodies. Machine. All this for some light bulbs in the manor upstairs. No, this must be powering something else. No sense in trying to unravel this mystery tonight. Perhaps when I've got more time to spare. Okay, open door. When we first got to the manor, Molly showed Jamie and me around in the basement. I recall there were prisoners here before. Little ones who Molly said not to worry about. Come to think of it, I'm sure they were the ones mentioned in that missing person poster I saw back in Beggar's Lane. Well, looks like they're free now and in better straits, I hope. Oh well, children as prisoners. Who cares? What on earth is this? No! It's Miss Molly! Stone the crow, she's been murdered! Who could have done this? An expression of amazement. A whole house full of people, I warrant. Molly had enemies aplenty. Any man worth his salt has enemies, or a woman in this case. Whoever it was won't leave this place alive. You can count on that. He goes off to catch whoever killed Molly, like a bull rushing headfirst into a red rag. There goes my chance to collect any sort of payment from Molly. Task failed, werewolf hunter. I should find Lord Braxton and have a word with him. Perhaps he can pay me for the troubles instead of Molly. Yeah, let's go shoot him instead. Empty cell, hardly of interest. Alright. But okay, finally, like, this is sort of paying up, or like, paying dividends or whatever, this mechanic of having multiple characters, like, and I wonder how different it would have been if we didn't kill Molly, or is it like, even if maybe somebody else would have killed her, even if Atticus hadn't killed her, or maybe she would attack and we kill her in self-defense. Okay, buddy. Poor lad, nobody wants to go out like that. Alright. So let's go up and a dump. So can we go through here? This door leads to the manor interior. Molly said as much when Jemmy and I arrived to deliver Sykes. I think I did everything here there was to do in here. Let's check the other door, what sort of comments we get from that. This door we used when we hauled in the werewolf, it leads to the back gardens. I think I did, okay, so I could go to the back gardens too. Let's just go to the party. Party, 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 turn off the light. That's a werewolf song, if you ever heard one. Yes, let's go. Yeah. Oh, grand piano. Wait. Oh, so there's a hidden door. Real craftsmanship. Lord Braxton has good taste. Whatever else there is to be said about him. Our credit goes to whoever does his decorating. Stone carving. A great block of stone carved with ancient Egyptian figures. I wonder what a stonemason of today would think of work being displayed in a rich man's house 3,000 years hence. My own creations are unfortunately much more vulnerable to weather than simple stone. Unlike myself, this coal made a trip from Africa to Europe in one piece. Simple fireplace among the more palatial surroundings. Has Lord Braxton already become cash-strapped? I doubt it, more like a design flaw sustained in the construction of the manor, which clearly took ages to complete. Selection of engineering text here is comprehensive. A few of these titles I've never heard of. Maybe I should take a closer look. Tales from Svalbard. Of course, it's not all about Leif Erikson and Beathuk's trade relationship with their dwarven neighbors. Ships sailing back from Svalbard have maintained that the region is home to a heretofore unknown form of life. Oh ho, the writer must have found out about wild mushrooms. What? Not dwarven nor any other known form for that matter, but something thus undescribed. Sadly, the Svalbard winters strongly discourage even the most hardy dwarven explorers, and travel is not advised for the majority of the season. Noted. Beyond the difference engine and rise of binary calculation. Introduced by Babbage and refined by Lovelace until we come on the basis of modern steam automatons. Work had of course been done previously to combine Francis Bacon's alphabet with I Ching. Through the popularization of steam actuators led to a refinement of the system by Lovelace. I hadn't considered how the I Ching might factor into it. And the addition of a second row of switches which incrementally increases power, Lovelace made leaps in her programming and poetical sciences which she is recorded to have said weaves algebraic patterns just as a jacquard loom weaves flowers and leaves. Fascinating. Alright. Relaxed and vigilant pose of a naturally keen hunter. Did we check the corpse already? Seen enough ghastly bodies in my train not to be shocked by them. Desk. Desk of Silas Bragg, Titan of Industry. Cluster of candles is a testament to many late nights dreaming up clever new feats of engineering. Ladder. Ladder is a primitive way to fetch things from a shelf. There must be an automated solution. Nobody is here. Sarcophagus. Oh, there is the butler. Digging up these artifacts has to be hard work. With the right tools, one can accomplish anything. Yes, what is it? The way of the world rests on the shoulders of the serving class, or so it would seem, judging by this fellow's obvious discontent. What's going on around here? Oh, I believe the partygoers are about to gather at the guest house for a demonstration. That's all. Well, have a good evening. Likewise. We're off long dead Muckety It's in keeping with the Egyptian theme, I suppose. But Braxton seems to have the world at his fingertips. Imagine the inventions I could master if I had the financial backing of Arsenal. Sweet Baldur's shining orb. Someone's going to home with collywobbles, stomach pain or queasiness. Notably, there isn't any hard liquor here, at least not openly offered at this table. Maybe Lord Braxton doesn't want his guests to get too giddy and tip over their statue. Or his wife. Said a book. Seems like one of those cheap romance novels. Perhaps Lady Braxton is a fan. Look closer. Oh, yeah, we read it already. Yeah. Bertha's foot slipped on the dung and she gave a slight yelp as she began to fall, the pails of milk flying from her hands. But before she found herself rolling in the hay, the stable boy's strong, now milk-sod arms closed around her. Nope. Okay, that was sort of funny. Okay, I guess let's go to the backyard. I presume that's where everybody is. The manor moves with a life of its own. Did I? Yeah, I read this already, I think. Yeah, there's lots of people. Daddy, I have successfully located you. Is it my imagination or does Otto seem a bit jaunty? He's practically bouncing on his springs point of fact. It's good to see you, Otto. Where have you been? I am also pleased that we are in proximity again. I recently learned that you might be in danger, so I made it my priority to come help you. Well, it's good of him to watch my back. I guess we are friends after all. I see, but how did you get here? I concealed myself from Lord Braxton's airship and recently disembarked at the back of an outbuilding in which something rather strange is most certainly going on. Amazing, it seems like the determination core is paying dividends already. And there is more. On the way to this location, I spotted a large, intricate, and unusual device. I am curious to examine it more closely. Very interesting. That must be what all this hullabaloo is about. Some sort of demo at the guest house. Okay, task updated. Seeking answers. Shall we go then? Not now. I still have some things to do around here. Alright, currently standing by until you are ready. Yeah, this is the only task we have. Okay, and there's a million people here. Ah, there's good old Jessica. Miss Lincoln, how nice to run into you. And you, Mr. Redgrave, are you enjoying the party? I'm a solitary dwarf by nature, so I tend to keep to myself, but the booze is good. Indeed, well, have a good night, Mr. Redgrave. And you, madam? Okay, good. I don't want long conversations, but since there's people here, I should talk to them to see if I learn anything interesting. This fellow is likely the other gentleman bodyguard, given the other's doughy face and silver spoon look. Not sure he could defend himself otherwise. Good evening, I'm Teddy Redgrave, monster hunter. He looked surprised to be addressed. Ah, you're my Bear bodyguard. I'd guessed as much. You strike me as a gent who knows his way around combat. And then you are wiser than most of the guests at this manor. I don't really fit in here, truth be told. Nor I sense we are both men of action, more than words. You'd be right about that. We both share a look born of mutual understanding. Well, it's been an unexpected pleasure, Iron Bear. If we meet again, let's have a proper drink. I believe I would like that, said Redgrave. Farewell, my new homie. Judging by her finery, this must be the lady of the house herself. Oh, hello, and who might you be? Theodore Redgrave, monster hunt. Child, I'm sure, I'm sorry. So many guests to keep track of. This lady seems to have more than is good for her. We are supposed to be going somewhere, and my husband has some sort of event planned, but I can't recall the nature of it. I won't be getting anything of use out of her. Pleasure to meet you, ma'am. Can't we, seduce her and take her to the bushes? Yes, quite. That would be fun. Wait, sudden gen. Okay, there's the center. This gentleman appears to be quite a social butterfly, always flitting about quick with a grin or a quip. Good evening, I'm Teddy Redgrave, monster hunter. You've been speaking to everyone else. I admit to feeling a touch left out. Ah, Mr. Dwarf, Redgrave was it? I'm a monster hunter. Good lord, suppose that goes a long way explaining why you're nearly more machine than dwarf. He laughs at his own joke. Rich toughs like him are always far too pleased with themselves. Aye, my limbs are proof of my resilience. After all, I'm the one who came back alive. Something this gent may never understand. Well, that's certainly one way to look at it. But where are my manners? Tanner Cunningham, businessman from the Republic of Texas. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. The trite phrase is even more empty than usual. Outside of a need to hire my services, he has no use for someone like me. Have you met many interesting people tonight, Tanner? Oh, he doesn't like me calling him by his first name. Score one for Teddy. Well, of course, my lad. That's what shindigs like these are for, you know. No one quite as thrilling as a monster hunter, but we can all be risking life and limb out there. But who knows if my business rivals ever get a hold of me. Ha ha ha. Thoroughly unpleasant chat. Well, I'll leave it to you to it. I'm sure you have important work to do. Right you are, dear boy, right you are. Willard Rathbone. Mr. Redgrave, I hardly knew you partook in such occasions. What can I say? I'm a walking riddle. Well, all the more reason to get to know you better. What's on your mind? Enjoying your time here? Indeed, as much as I would love to see Lord Braxton in the flesh, one can't deny that he left quite the impression on yours truly with the Egyptian theme and delectable selection of victuals. And I gather those victuals include a lot of meat. Oh, just because I love animals doesn't mean I must restrain myself in gastronomical matters. Besides, it's not like marsupials are being served on silver platters. Huh? Any idea where Lord Braxton is? Not precisely, though. I wager something fetching will unfold at the guest house, and if I know Silas Bragg, he isn't one to miss out on such an event. Have you seen anything strange going on around here? Around here, not that I know of, though it's worth mentioning that my parakeets have been picking up all manner of foul words from passers-by recently. Hardly good for business, no sir. Part of me wants to hear it for myself, if that That isn't entertainment, I don't know what is. I think I'll leave you to it. Fair enough, Redgrave. Enjoy the rest of the party. And here's the funny sentry. Sentry is the Lord Silas think he needs armed guards at his parties to keep the peace. Greetings, sir or madam. May I suggest a frittata if it's morning? If it's not, then I suggest air or refreshment undetermined. Still funny. Best character in the game. Angel holding a torch towards a manor. What's that supposed to mean? Reminds me of Prometheus stealing fire from the gods and the harsh punishment he received. Maybe it's gonna burn the building. That's what it means. Green Street. Is that Green Street? I wonder what brought him all the way here. Green Street, you sure have a knack for going places. Aye, Mr. Redgrave, but I could say the same to you. Most engine people I know hardly see the light of day. Always bend over some project or another in the workshop. Enjoying the party? Food's good, can't complain. Cove a few words. You haven't seen Lord Silas around, have you? It's odd that the manor's namesake is nowhere to be found. I admit, I was looking forward to meeting him. Perhaps we will if we're patient enough. But at least Lady Braxton is here, even if she'd rather acquaint herself with liquor than partygoers. Take care now. You as well, blah blah blah. Okay, Pavel Gerard. Now, here's someone you wouldn't normally find in these parts. Pavel, I didn't know the London elite needed your services. Aha, Braxton Manor isn't as squeaky clean as you might think. Get it? Squeaky? What do you make of Lord Braxton anyway? How? Truth be told, I've yet to meet him. He's hardly approachable, and he may prefer to keep his distance from common folk like us. Seen or heard anything rum? You always had an eye and ear for such things. It's a good question. Paris looks nice on the surface, though I feel there's something amiss that isn't readily apparent. Maybe it's the fact that only Lady Braxton is around, but Lord Silas hasn't been seen all evening. If I were a well-heeled industrialist, where would I be? Lurking in the shadows like Sagat Jones? But it's nice talking to you. And you, Mr. Redgrave. Pleasure as always. Okay. Oh, there's another sentry. Passage to kennels is denied. You may take the path to the guest house on the right if you are a guest. I am not able to discern if you are a guest. Oh, there's another sentinel over there. Okay, almost ready to go, but I guess, yeah, I don't want to go to the basement. Don't think I should leave also before our best if we go to the guest house together. Okay, so this is where the guest house is. Guess I've talked to everybody. Fine, let's go to the guest house. Let's go to the party. Let's go. Peppers, fine. Let's go to the guest house. Which one? Oh my god. One of them is gonna be a trap. Alright, let's not tarry. Delay. Oh. Are we suddenly the killbot? What from the outside seems to be an unassuming guest house looks more like cramped storage for steam-powered gadgets and machines of every description. Old vehicles, long disused automatons, and weird parts of all shapes and sizes are heaped here and there under no apparent system. Some of the less recognizable items, medical inventions, you're guessing, or possibly torture devices, are downright disturbing in their aspect. The whole dim cavern is dominated by a robotic surgeon hanging from above like a hideous metal spider waiting for fresh prey. Phew, we've arrived at guest house unmolested and without hazard. No one in visual range, current status hidden. This is a keen vantage point, although I must say, though I didn't like that rickety ladder much. But we must not let our guard down. We are likely to encounter antagonists at this location. Probability high, more data needed. Hey now, old sport, maybe it's just a barn where Lord Braxton's workshop. Let's have a look before getting all worked up. Alright, let's do another save and have a look then. Wharf. Eavesdrop. Fine, let's eavesdrop. Odo, got to eavesdrop on whatever's happening down there before we move on. Finally, Lord Braxton. Lady Braxton should be leading the guests into the back gardens any time now. That is, if she hasn't drowned herself in gin. Valuable data being broadcast, audio receptors at maximum. I wager I should rehearse my speech in the meantime. After all, first impressions matter. So wait, there's somebody there? Patient? Clearly this man is full of himself, and that's before mentioning the horrid experiment he's about to conduct on that lady down there. Okay, so I guess this is Atticus's mom. It looks human, not Minotaur. Dear friends, tonight for your enjoyment I present you to a creature of inestimable pity. This poor wretch, elderly and indigent, was kindly loaned to us by the Bethnal House facility. I extend my thanks to Dr. Wainwright, a man fearless in the pursuit of science. If science is indeed what is being pursued here. The subject is completely devoid of mental faculty, a vegetative husk. Whatever humanity she once possessed, no more than a memory. Yet how fortuitous for her, for all of us, that she has been chosen for today's procedure. Re-evaluating meaning of fortuitous fortune. For the first time, a cure is available for this woman's deplorable condition, not through the magic of ancient gods, but from the ingenuity of man. Fascinating how eloquent words can so effectively cloak a terrible crime. With Arsenal Engines technology, I shall restore the subject's enfeebled mind to sentience, to consciousness, and reverse the devastating effects of disease. And all of you gathered here will bear witness to the most stunning medical advancement of the century. Now look at his expression, like a child yearning for a lolly. Now, if only Molly were here with the werewolf blood, I could prepare the serum and get started. Approaching decision points. If we wish to interfere, we must make haste. The surgery will commence presently. You estimate. Okay, should we intervene, or you estimate 99% chance for the procedure to fail? Well, we are Teddy Redgrave, or rather this robot and Teddy Redgrave, but okay, if the procedure will fail, like then like for me, like the logic is like, if it's gonna fail anyway, we might as well interfere. This is interfere. To enact this dangerous procedure on an unconsenting person, someone completely unable to consent, is indefensible. The moral thing would be to intervene. Bloody hell, though, this is worse than I imagined. Perhaps we could access the surgical theater from the door just here. There's no time, Otto. We need to go around the building and save the poor patient's life if we can. There's... Mr. Teddy said we should circle back around the front, safer to enter from that side. Wait, so this way? No. The ground floor, okay. Oh, transformer. Aha, the power is coming from Silas's airship. Clever blighter is being routed through this transformer. What a beauty she is. You could power a whole block down to the gear like this. Unfortunate there isn't time to study it further. Mr. Teddy is keen on circling the building. Does seem the best path forward. Should we avoid trouble and stop whatever is happening inside the guest house? Heavy cable. Can we cut the cables? A lengthy and conspicuous black cable. Source unknown. Terminus guest house. High capacity power cable. High capacity power cable. Alright, this is running power to the guest house. I detect a significant amount of electricity passing through it right now. Yeah, I feel I can feel the heat coming off it. I wager it's running that surgical machine. Perhaps we should sever it. Yeah. Perhaps we should sever it. Normally I'd agree, Otto, but whoever is under the knife down there might need the power to stay alive. Let's circle the building and see what we can see. The Redbeard does have a point. Right. So, I guess this is the way we are supposed to be circling. Watch out! Here comes one of Smolly's goons. His gait suggests he is overly self-confident. Hide? I suggest subterfuge this way. Very well. Waste of good shrapnel though. Okay. Hey, we are doing action stuff now. Action Jackson. Okay, is this where we can finally go in? Not exactly sure what we're getting into here, although, but there's no turning back. Okay, go inside. Now sense delaying the inevitable. This is a consequence we will face together. True friends stab you in the front. I guess that's correct. Clara Reed, you had an awkward encounter with a miniature you robbed on the way to Lord Braxton's soiree. Once you arrived, it took some work to track down Zora. Before you could get any real answers, Ivana interrupted and the two of them slipped into the shadows. You harry the madam and her compatriot's steps. Your attire is not made for this dewy, sedgy marsh, but you press on all the same. The vestiges of urbanity fall away despite your nearness to the opulent manor house. Tall thistles catch on your stately dress as you chase the pair, but you will not be swayed, and at last the underbrush gives way to an empty expanse. Two dark silhouettes are just visible as you arrive. In this last of meeting places, perhaps you will finally find the answers you seek. So we just gonna go talk to them instead of being sneaky. Clara, dear, you really shouldn't be here. What a shame. Clara. Calm yourself, I wish. Zora, what is all this? Come now, Clara. Surely you have some idea what kind of trouble you're in. I don't know. Let's make it interesting. Accuse Madame Zora of being the killer. Or maybe it's her perfume. Of course, if Ivana is the killer, let's accuse Madame Zora. You were the courtesan killer all along. I've no idea what you're talking about, my dear. There is laughter in her eyes. The Sykes, that contemptible cove, or perhaps Ivana here. Quite a beastly thing when the moon is full. Traitor! Regardless, it's too late by half. What a loss. First broke Beatrix and now you, Miss Reed. That was most certainly not a veiled threat. I'll need to brace for whatever is coming. Ivana, attack! Okay, let's try to dodge. Are we gonna die? Hey, my grace increased. It's over in a flash. A great wall of flesh, fur, and teeth crashes down on me. There's pain, there is warm blood moving, but then there's nothing. Okay, now we got combat section, sort of. Yeah, I wish I could have saved. Okay, Madame Zora. I guess it's her, yeah, like, or she's using Ivana as her weapon, basically. Okay, let's dodge. And grace increased, so that's good. I avoid Ivana's first strike, but she rounds on me again, pinning me to the ground. By goes! By God, an oath, okay. By goes, Clara, I don't know what's got into her. She's like a wild animal. Ivana could puncture my skull from this position, but her claws are merely resting there. Like this. Wait, are we blonde? Is Clara blonde? Ivy, kill her. She's a danger to us both. Kill. She's loosening her grip, slowly lifting her weight off of me. Ivana looms large and panting beside Zora, but for some reason she's allowed me to my feet. Blasted savage curse! These animals can't be trusted to do anything, but it hardly matters. When the transformation reaches its final stage, Ivana will lose whatever mental faculties remain, and shear me limb from limb while you stand idly by. Okay, I guess she's sort of blonde, but it also looks a bit brownish. Precisely. But if you prefer, I could kill you to spare you the pain. It's good to have the Derringer. I might have to fire a shot at Madame Zora, but I need to make sure that I catch her off guard. But for now, I just better keep her talking. Just how would you kill me? You don't seem to be armed. With this, I suppose. Zora fishes an object out of her dress pocket. Metal prongs glisten in the moonlight. Examine it. At least we succeed. A daisy grubber, a two-pronged garden tool for digging up weeds. It's a simple tool, but it does the job quite well. Murder them. Yes, I use this to make gouges in the carpet, as well as the flesh, whenever it was necessary. Saints above, just like the claws of an active werewolf. Oh. You used that dull instrument to murder Beatrix? Of course not. I slit her throat with a razor, quick and efficient. Using the rake would have taken ages. And Gwen? Yeah, Gwenzini. Ariana's little friend, she knew too much. It would have been impossible to do what needed to be done with my past following me to London. I thought the Thames would do enough to hide the evidence. It nearly did. What about Rachel Nichols? Who? Horrific. Does she even know how many she's killed? She was a washerwoman, sleeping rough when she was killed. How was she a threat? Oh, her. A simple mistake, I'm afraid. She surprised me in the dark, but it did present a fine opportunity. Rather than a poor woman drinking herself to an ignominious death, I was able to make it look like the work of a mad werewolf. I got a pretty penny for her organs, too. Mentioned the prison cell at Madame Zora's flat. I found your private prison cell at your flat on Cable Street. Sneaking around, Miss Reed? How rude of you. Surely you know that you've seen Ivana's condition. You know what I use it for. You keep her captive in there then every 3 weeks around the full moon? Not captive, safe. It's far better lodging than those ghastly containment camps. Ivana deserves better than that. Why, Beatrix, what did the poor girl do to you? Not what she did to me, but rather what she did to herself, consorting with that lout Sykes in such a manner. She's utterly mad. You hated Sykes that much? Monsters must be controlled. The poor girl's fate is regrettable, but often sacrifices must be made for the greater good. Mention the details of the crime at the bell jar. The residents of Belchar heard growling the night the crime was committed. I'm sure they did. Wolf, kill wolf. Ivy. Wolf, not Ivana then? Which means... Hannah was a werewolf, wasn't she? Indeed she was. She was also a former employee of the Rose, who took her leave of us several years ago. Her distaste is evident on her face. I suppose took her leave is putting it lightly. She was privy to our client's dirty laundry, and developed a mind to use it to her advantage. Lots of wealthy patrons come to the Rose with good reputations they would pay to protect. When I confronted her about blackmail she was up to, I did not intend to kill her, but it became necessary when her transformation began and the quarrel turned violent. Lies! Besides, Clara, there are far too many wolves in this city as it is. I did us all a favor by setting up Sykes as the courtesan killer. You admit to framing Sykes, then why him specifically? Because he was causing far too much trouble at Rose. If not Beatrix, he would have tried to impregnate another of my best girls. And if he were behind bars, that'd be yet another savage animal of the streets. I don't know. Defend Sykes? Sykes was a good man. Many of the girls at Rose could attest to that. No, Sykes was an accident waiting to happen. These animals cannot be trusted to control themselves when the moon is high. What of Ivana then? Ivana is a special case. She knows the sordid truth of what she is, and she is stronger than the others, smart enough to listen to those with sense even when she has none left. Ask Madame Zora something else. Tell her you found a locket in her desk. I found a locket in your desk with the image of a child who was Damjan Levitch. I worry for a moment that I pushed too far. Zara looks at me with fiery hatred, but she answers all the same. Damjan was my son, lost to the barbarity of my unfortunate homeland, Bruslavia. Ivana growls, eyes aglow with strange clarity. Like myself, my son refused to bite when he came of age. You kept him from it. Suddenly Ivana's voice is clear and articulate. I saved him from a lesser life. A life of chaos every 3 weeks beneath the moon, a life of stinking animal impulse. Madame Zora's pale cheeks take on some color, while Ivana seems to get even more restless. We had power, we were nobility even after his father's death. Yet my reward was to have my son taken from me by the jaws of a beast. Rah, they didn't know that he hadn't taken a bite. We had no reason to tell them. What business was it of my peers if we refused a bite? Was your fault. Those animals were supposed to avoid my property upon the full moon. They didn't know. They didn't know the risk. Didn't know he was only a human child. And so when they trespassed, they attacked my poor Damjan and took his life. How should I be at fault for the behavior of savages? Damjan died because of you. It is now getting out of hand, but with Zora distracted, now's the time to strike. Draw your gun on Zora. I pull the Derringer and train it on Zora. That's quite a weapon, but you must know that Ivana will slaughter you if you so much as twitch. So even if you killed me, you'd be right on my heels all the way down to Hades. Zora's eyes are filled with a terrible burning rage. Ivana will do as she's told. She will listen to her cousin, her kin, and do away with this unsufferable trollop Clara Reed. Rawr. Ivana, attack, you stupid inhuman beast. No, kill. This dreaded curse, it gives the body a supernatural strength, but it weakens the mind. Ivana, attack her, you bloody animal. Rawr. In a flash of fur and teeth, the towering creature springs to life. I brace myself for an attack that never comes. Ivana rushes at the madam instead, knocking Zora to the ground, and her claws find purchase on Zora's leg. Oi! Okay, let's see. Well, this is better chance. Persuade Ivana to stop by appealing to her human sensibilities. Success, yes. Ivana, she's not worth it. Stop and I'll make sure she's put away. Ivana looks back at me. I think I'm getting through to her. Ivana, that's enough for now. Ivana gets to her feet, and I am face to face with a werewolf that is keen on violence, even when enacted on her own cousin. She is still safe for the occasional twitch of her ears. Ivana, it'll be okay. That'll do, pig. But Ivana spins on Zora too fast for my eyes to follow and lifts her into the air like a child's toy. There's an awful thud as she lands, and Zora goes quiet and still. The instant Zora goes limp, Ivana backs off. The great wolf stands there, hot breath misting. We size each other up in the quiet of the marsh, and just for a moment I am able to collect my thoughts. Without warning, Ivana's gaze breaks away and she sprints off into the fog. What's that? Footsteps, no. Hoofbeats, approaching from the manor. Eyes Duval. Mr. Reed, Clara, are you alright? Eve, Saints, what took you? My apologies. I left as soon as passing servant informed me of your departure. These hooves are not made for mud. He's relieved to have found me well, though his strict decorum would never allow it to show. Where is Miss Orsini? What happened here? Ivana transferred and fled into the woods. I'm afraid there is an errant werewolf loose upon the grounds at the moment. Well, there's two werewolves. There's also Sykes. Maybe they can, make werewolf babies or something instead of killing people. Then Miss Orsini explain things. Indeed, Ivana Orsini is a werewolf. She is also innocent of the mantle of the courtesan killer. That honor goes to this wretch, I'm afraid. Madame Zora is still quite unconscious. She's unconscious, she's not dead. Lying limply in the dirt, it would be wise to retrain her before she comes to. Then it was not Sykes after all. I cannot say I'm surprised. There were far too many questions left unanswered, and it was too easy by Alf to levy the blame upon a werewolf. Suggest Ivana might be willing to testify. Speaking of werewolves, it would not surprise me if Ivana Orsini would be willing to testify against her cousin once she returns to human form. She might cut a deal, if not with the Bobbies, then with your patrons perhaps. I'll make a note of it, and then set ancients to find her first thing in the morn. It has been an exhausting night and my entire body aches, but at least the killer has been caught. Alright, if you take the calves and restrain the madame, we might sling her over my back and take her back to the manor proper. My people are waiting on the grounds to take her from us. He pauses and looks at me keenly for a moment. Now, that all is over, Miss Reed. I must ask you, what do you have to say about the killer? Well, I don't understand really her motivation. Well, let's say I understand why she did it, but I fully condemn her actions. Pray explain, Miss Reed. Werewolves can be dangerous, but that doesn't excuse killing innocents no matter what. So yeah, she hated werewolves, so then she killed a bunch of other people. The motivations are a bit sus to me. I quite agree. So what now? You said you had people waiting on the grounds? Once we deal with Madame, I'm sure the next move will present itself. At the end of this longest of nights, one way or another. Children begin by loving their parents. After a time they judge them, rarely if ever do they forgive them. Okay, back to Atticus. So we didn't actually like that chapter was all dialogue and a couple of diagrams. We didn't even get to save or anything. Braxton Manor proved to be an arduous challenge, but you behave like a gentleman, which is all a Minotaur could ask. You know that the guest house is the resolution you've been seeking. So I guess we have to fight against Jemmy, the other Minotaur. Glad to be out of that basement now. What's this? Looks like a few folks hanging about here. And with Molly gone, I just need to get to the bottom of whatever other terrible business is at hand. You're getting close, Atticus. Hurry. Close to what? Hurry before. Silence before what, damn it. I don't think there's gonna be many chapters left, but it might still take a few hours, couple of at least an hour. So maybe I'll end the stream here, and because I don't know if there's much to do with Clara anymore. Well, of course, she's probably we're gonna see if she's gonna leave London or not. But of course, like Theodore seems to have a showdown with Lord Braxton, and of course we have to deal with Jemmy and stuff with Atticus. But that has to be next time then. So I'm Adventure Argonaut. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.